All right, welcome back, everybody. Another day in the painting realms. Exciting day. Today we're going to talk about Skaven. How you doing, Bill? What's going on?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Oh,
Yeah, and you're going to be working on some Chaos Knights?
I was just telling you just before we started the stream. It's just like for whatever reason, these guys have been half painted for like forever, and I
Mm-hmm.
actually want to run them, and just for whatever reason, I haven't been able to get up the gumption to finish them. So you know what? This is the project for today. We're gonna finish
Absolutely.
these bad
Yeah.
boys, or at
I'm
least make good progress.
going to be working on Screech Vermin King. Maybe I get the lighting a little better here. Yeah. It's a little hard, but
Oh, very
with
nice. He's
black.
really cool.
I love
Damn.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I was telling you before, he should have been the Warbringer, but well, that'll come later.
Yep.
But
We'll see
he's
why.
still good. He's just not the nutso, but yeah, and then outside of that, I've been working on the Spite Rider Lancers a little bit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
One of
Let's
the
see those
models.
bad boys.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm waiting for the not the texture, the new contrast coming
Yep.
because I want to do that. So what I'm thinking about doing, Jesus, they got all tangled. Yeah, is for the wings. I'm gonna do Briar Queen Chill, which is like the white blue color. I think that'd be perfect.
Oh yes, yes. That I like
Um,
that color a lot. That color looks like something awesome.
I love it. Yeah, I know I'm gonna use it on a lot of things. I might redo Lady Olander with some of it too.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to try it there because I think that'd be perfect. And then I was thinking Sigvald Burgundy because like on the box art these are red, and I think that'd be a really cool like color. But I'm afraid it's not gonna stand out enough to the pink, so I'm gonna want to see it in person. But then
Yeah,
from there I'm just gonna pick out some crap, and then like on the underbelly I might do like some sort of fleshy color or like one of the light green shades there.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that should look good.
so I'm really excited for that. I want to get these on the table. I have two more boxes coming, so I'm gonna have three of the Lancers and two of the Seekers
Nice. Do
overall.
you have the Gossamet Archers to show off? Because I think those came up so awesome what you did with the wings.
They're upstairs.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because I did the blue
Yeah, I
highlights.
just really like the blue highlights you did on
I
those
should have
on
thought
those wings.
about that. Yeah. I
Oh, it's
have
okay.
one more box of them coming too, and then
Nice.
the alleged Sylvaneth start or Vanguard box that's on the way. Once I get that, I'll
Oh,
have
I mean,
everything but
should be.
Alariel.
Yeah.
Oh, did you hear
That's
about that?
what exactly?
So there's the somebody bought on eBay like it was on Reddit, so it could be fake, of course, but
Of course.
like a Vanguard box for Sylvaneth
Mm-hmm.
that was a Tree Lord, a unit of Kurnoth Hunters, a unit of Tree Revenants, and a Branch Witch.
Oh, okay. Had we not known what the contents were going to be yet?
Yeah, we haven't known
Ah, I
that, so
see.
but like that will give me the one more Tree Lord, the one more Kurnoth that I want, and then
Mm-hmm.
the Tree Revenants can be built as Spite Revenants, so I don't know what I'm doing there necessarily, but
It's interesting that didn't come with any dryads. That seems weird.
yeah, it is
But
interesting, like because the Start Collecting did,
right.
yeah. And there's one of those at the local game store, so I don't. Yeah, I might do that and the Kurnoth Hunters there instead of that Vanguard at some point, but I'm gonna wait a paycheck or two because I
Oh,
got
you
Vermin
have
Lords
plenty of
coming in too.
dryads, right?
I
Mhm.
have 30 something,
Yeah.
so probably enough. And like, I'm definitely way more excited to run the more elite stuff because that's not
Right.
in the wheelhouse of what my armies are capable of doing normally.
Yeah, so it's like that's like your different army, right?
Yeah,
Like you're like this is my off the wall, not what I normally play, but I feel like changing it up list.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I'm
Well,
so excited to get more games in with that. And I got a
I
couple
do have
games in with Skaven too.
nice.
Yeah, so yeah, I actually had a hilarious moment where I brought the Vermin Lord Corruptor and as the general, and he was able to get skitter leaped into the enemy's line and just like I think do 24 damage to a unit of 30 on turn one.
Sounds pretty significant.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
so what actually happened in that game because this is hilarious is he was playing Daughters of Cain and he charged in with a couple of units fought with the general and did like a good chunk of damage to him. But Skaven have this rule where if instead of being selected to fight, as long as you don't have a if you're as long as you're here without a mount, you can just choose to fall back instead of
Oh yeah.
fighting. So
That's
he
right.
ran away, thinking that he would be alive, but she had the command trait of after she deals damage at the end of the combat, she deals an additional D6 mortal wounds to that unit
Oh my
because it's like a
goodness.
poison. So he ran
Yep.
away and that killed him.
Oh my goodness.
That's a
That's something.
story, right? It's
Yeah,
so
seriously.
funny. Yeah.
What are the odds of that?
Mhm. But yeah, like you can just see there's like so much power in this army right from the get-go. Now, um overall though, like yeah, and I had another game too cuz like I was playing Pestilence mostly these last two games
Mhm.
because they just seem so fucking cool right now.
Sure.
Yeah, and it was a it was a 2v2 actually. So I was playing with a Nighthawk player and we were playing against Zinch and Stormcast.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and I
I
did
vaguely remember that being
yeah,
a thing.
yep. And then I think everybody knows by now that if you're Thankful, your best friend is Lock on the Soul Seeker, the Bringy Dingy, and you can just move. Yeah, because he can fit within 18. You can move 18, just pop him in. Yeah, to the
And
enemy's deployment or like wherever you want him to be, and
yep.
just like get stuck in and fight whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he can't run away because he's mounted, as per that command trait or that faction ability I was talking about. But he's
Being
still
able to deliver
yeah.
that much hurt right to the front
Mm-hmm.
so easily, pretty
And
sweet.
and I had a game a couple weeks ago, like right before the books actually came out, because I had the leaks, where
Mm-hmm.
I was fighting Beast of Chaos, and turn one he did that to with the Soul Seeker, just teleported right up, ran right up, and then I did stomp on the or not stomp, I destroyed the terrain piece, the herd
Oh
stone.
no.
Yeah,
No, you mustn't.
yeah.
No, that's the worst.
If it makes you feel better, both of my warp lightning cannons blew up turn two, and they did a total of 3 damage.
Oh well. Yeah, a
So
little bit.
yeah, that's what made it a game.
Yep, that is what would make that a game. Considering that really sucks to the beast player.
Yeah, it does, but like that's one of those things too. Is like I don't know if he was like perfectly aware, and like I tried to explain, but like sometimes you just don't realize what's gonna happen until it happens, even if
Oh
somebody
yeah,
tells you.
absolutely. And
So
then the
like
next game, it's like, oh, I'm not letting that happen again.
yeah, so like
Yeah,
there was no hard feelings, but I was afraid that was kind of a gotcha. But
yeah.
you know what? We had fun.
Yeah, there you go. That's all
Mm-hmm.
that matters.
Yeah, and we learned the value of a clan rat that day too.
What is the value of a clan rat?
100 points for 20 bodies.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's all they do. But man, I think on Vince's show they said it best, where they said they were the best worst unit in the game.
Oh yeah, just because they're so cheap, so you just
Yeah.
look bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
And like
there you
there's
go.
like so much value in that.
Oh
And it's
yeah,
not
for sure.
immediately obvious either, but you're like, oh, these things kind of suck. I'm like, yes, but they're cheap.
But they're cheap.
Yeah.
But I can run a lot of these.
Yeah. And like I'm gonna make it very difficult for you to fight the things you actually want to fight
Yep.
before I get to fight them first. Yeah, it's good shit.
Yeah.
And like I know you had your games canceled recently, unfortunately.
Yeah, my game got canceled.
Yeah.
It's okay. Life happens.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get it in eventually. Scheduled again for next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have it this time.
Mm-hmm. And that's gonna be
I made
Slaves,
a
right?
I made a the spoilers list with Bellacore,
Oh, cool.
a Corn Demon Prince, 2 units of Chaos Knights. I was building a 1,500 point list because it's easier to get in slightly smaller games.
Yeah.
Um, and then I think a unit of warriors, chaos sorcerer, and I was debating between putting the cogs in or not for the last 40 points,
Yes.
or if I wanted the triumph. I wasn't sure how good the cogs would be in that list specifically. They might be good. I don't know. I'll probably try it.
Yeah, just rerolling charges. Yeah, it's pretty big, I think.
Yeah, it's just like the within has to be within 12 of. I need to be within 12 of it,
Yeah.
which is pretty good range though. So like
Mm-hmm.
totally within 12.
So
Rather.
I guess I'll say for me that they've always been extremely impressive in Night Haunt.
I mean that makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And like, yeah, Night Haunt right now, I won't build a list without Purple Sun and Cogs right now.
There you go.
It's just, I think, yeah, I feel bad running Purple Sun because I think we talked about even already like how it has just the potential to ruin a game.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yep. We
But like
definitely talked about that.
that, yeah, and like I guess Night Haunt is like extra unfair because they're not even like affected by the -1 save half of it.
I mean, hey, you have like
Yeah.
good endless spell for you there. That's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run it until I'm sick of it, basically.
Which might be never.
Yeah.
Or until they change it again.
Until they change it again. Yeah. I
Mhm.
think Cogs needs to get changed. I think Army or 12-inch bubble of reroll cast is just too much.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I guess that was a happy accident. His head popped off. I
Oh,
couldn't glue it enough superly, but I can actually get to the neck now. So
nice. Hey, you gotta love when that happens.
sub assembly, whether I want it or not.
Yeah.
All right.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we said we were gonna get started a little earlier, and then we actually had a lot to talk about pre-show. So
Yep.
you
I
know
have one
what?
last thing.
Yeah,
Here we go. Here's the Praetor
the
that I
Praetor.
painted last week. He's all done.
You know what?
Except for the base.
He looks
But that's
great.
it.
Yeah.
I like him. I like this color scheme a lot. I
Hmm.
very impressed with it.
Yeah, I foolishly brought my guys upstairs to show off to my friends yesterday, or like over the weekend as I
You gotta
played
show it
through.
up to the internet, not your friends.
Yeah,
God, get your priorities
you're
straight,
right.
Alex.
Damn. But yeah, so I'll get in the better habit of having that around to show off. But anyway, let me wash
Let's
this
go.
brush off, and we'll jump right into the Skaven book because this is a fat book.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So I guess the overview, like we talked about in the Sylvaneth book, like it's good to do a little overview.
Yep.
Um, where the Sylvaneth was like very cleaned up, this feels very much like. So you know how like Soulblight Gravelords came out and it was awesome because there's like so much list variety and somebody who really loved the army really put a lot of time into it.
Yep.
This has that feeling, I think, except for like a couple of spots, but it still feels like it was written in a 2.0 environment. And there's a lot of rulesy
Interesting.
things that are very 2.0 feeling. It doesn't
Okay.
feel like it has that like cleaned up 3.0.
That's kind of weird because most of
Yeah.
the books really have.
Yeah, cuz
Maybe they thought a 2.0 book style was more like in the Skaven realm.
yeah. So like one thing for example is like all the Vermin Lords have a unique command ability. Some of the foot heroes have a unique command ability. Like the
Oh
Claw
yeah,
Lord
we
still
haven't
has the
seen like
+1.
any of those,
Yeah.
right?
So like this book has
Yeah.
a lot of those still.
Interesting.
They don't have modern sub factions, which I think Skaven specifically does not want those. To
Okay.
yeah. So I think it's a fantastic book. I think it's well written. I think every war scroll except for one has use in this game right now, which is
That's
pretty good because it's a
that's a
fat
pretty good
army.
hit rate right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
But it feels like a 2.0 book. Like this was on the back burner for a while and then they just pushed it forward.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there's the tinfoil hat theory going around that this book's going to get like Lumineth treatment and then like sometime next year we're going to get like wave 2 where the actual resculpts are coming.
Oh, okay.
Um if it happens, I wouldn't be that surprised, but it does sound like hopium right now
Sure.
or
Yeah.
copium or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
But like I would love that as long as they do it like Broken Realms techless style where it's like you buy the Broken Realms book and you don't need to buy the other codex or battle tome
I mean, in theory, if it's just new sculpts, you don't even need a new book, right?
unless they come with new rules. But yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
like
yeah,
all
they
the
might want it
Soulblight
to come
stuff with
new.
new sculpts came. Well, not all of it, but like zombies and skeletons did.
Sure, sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I think this book has legs. Overall, I think the damage went up, but your survivability kind of went down a tiny bit.
Okay.
But this is one of the few points or books where points seem to drop across the board rather than go up. With the exception of like your bigger characters who got way more than their points worth better, I would say.
I don't hate that though, considering Skaven are supposed to be like this massive horde of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
One
would say massive horde of humanity, but they're not humanities.
yeah.
That
Massive
word.
horde of
Oh,
flesh, yeah.
yeah.
So the one thing that people are
That was the grossest way to put it.
it is a gross way to put it, but Skaven are gross.
It's true.
One thing that people are pretty upset about is they didn't get anything to mitigate the reinforcement point situation,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
which I don't know why Daughters of Cain get it and Skaven don't.
That's bizarre as
I
heck.
personally think
Yep.
nobody should, because I think that is like a limitation of the game, and like why would we specifically write like if we're rewriting books, we should write armies to work in a way that they don't need to be reinforced to the moon to work, right? We should write them within the bounds of the core rules.
Yeah.
I think
Well, there's something to be
there's
said that
exceptions to
that's
that,
like
yeah.
yeah, it's a knob that game developers can turn to,
Yeah.
make things interesting.
Yeah, but there's also the point where like they turn that knob too often.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
it's like, what's the point anymore?
yeah.
It's like everyone has that's kind of like I feel like they turned the knob on that one too often with like ignoring bravery.
Yep, and they're dialing that back.
Yep.
So when I say like you're less survivable, that's also part of it.
Oh,
Like
okay.
ignoring brave like you're gonna lose guys to battle shock. Like that's just the truth. And that's fine.
Yep.
Because like that should be part of the game, but
They did have like a major ability that let them ignore battle shock before, right?
the warp seer used to just let them ignore it in a bubble. The gray seer and the screaming bell did. And then you have an endless spell that does it, and you have the plague priest and the furnace that can do it now.
So which ones did they lose that 'cause it sounds like
The plague priest can still do it. The endless spell, that's the bell, can still do it, but
okay.
I think that's a really bad use of your points because it can be dispelled,
Yeah.
and then it also can dispel itself randomly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
And then the Vermin Lord Warp Seer, the rule changed to be like the Eidolon, where it's Bravery 10 in the bubble instead of Auto Pass.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you lose enough clan rats, they're still running.
And there's a command trait you can do it. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
The command
Okay, so they
trait,
still have ways,
yeah.
but it's not as many ways.
The command trait works kind of like the little commissars from Imperial Guard, where you pick a unit and then instead of running, you just slay D3 of them.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll hate that.
So you still lose stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, I like how it's designed.
Yeah.
But like I think
I don't-
yeah, bravery is going to be a thing in this book because you're going to have a lot of MSU too because you don't have like the reinforcement points.
Right.
So this book does not care whatsoever about one drops. It cares a lot about your command entourages and probably bounty hunters now. And expert conquerors, I think you can do really well with too.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get into.
Especially if you can't like get like the if you can't just make like a lot of large blobs of units that you could then put in the one drop.
Exactly.
If you have to take a lot of MSU. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have stuff like weapons teams, which are actually like really cool and fun now.
Nice.
So exciting stuff overall.
I guess we'll get to those.
Yeah, let's start actually going into rules now. So lead from the back basically is you get lookout sir in melee too. So -1 to hit if you're like with it less than 10 wounds within 3 inches of an enemy. Pretty good. Right?
I like the flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
Of it, for sure.
Yeah, because like I think everybody's story has like the general right up front and like leading the charge, and you play the game and they hide because they hold your buffs and you don't have to die.
Exactly.
And like yeah, Skaven play completely to that.
Skaven lean into that.
Yeah.
Even. Yeah.
But it's like a -1 to hit with absolutely no cost. So cool.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it.
Next rule: scurry away is a hero without a mount and when they're picked to fight, they can just run away instead of fighting. Which
that's fun. Yeah, that leans even harder into the
yeah
into the lead from the back kind of thing. It's like, oh, I didn't want to be here. Bye.
Yeah. And let me tell you, my favorite way to steal a point from somebody is to charge them and then fall back another move
Just
onto
a
the
different
objective.
direction.
Yeah,
Oh,
with a
that's
Vermin Lord who counts as 5.
that's sneaky, and they're
Yeah.
in Skaven are sneaky.
Yeah, or even like the thing I was talking about earlier, like the general didn't have the Mistress of Poisons command trait. He would have
Yep.
lived. Like, you don't necessarily need to fight, and if you don't think you're going to win the fight, I don't know what you're doing not retreating on your turn anyway. You can just do it during theirs now.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the big one, strength in numbers. So you add 1 to the range of weapons used by Skaven for every 10 models. So most of the time now, you're going to be on 2-inch ranges or 3-inch ranges. And that
Yeah.
means everybody will get to fight, and that's huge. And like
So that's interesting. Does Galatian veterans change that?
I would say Galatian Veterans largely doesn't have an effect on this army because you can just choose to use battle bonds instead of coherency. But like since most of the stuff is 25mm bases, they already had like the 1-inch, basically base to base reach. That
Okay. Oh, so you get to choose which version you want to use.
correct? Yeah,
Oh, okay. All right.
yeah. So Galatian Veterans does not override that.
Okay.
If that's
Got
what
it.
you were asking, yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had to do the 2 ranks as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
being able to use that rule.
Mm-hmm. No,
But if it's optional, then there we go.
it's optional.
Perfect.
And yeah, overall, yeah, fantastic rule. Because like clan rats, like hitting, yeah, if you have like a block of them, you can get like 4 ranks of them with a 25mm base, or anything that's 25mm. Fights 4
Yeah.
ranks with 3 inches. And like you can get so many more attacks. And like you have ways to give +1 attacks to stuff too, so you can just do like a sheer volume of numbers with that rule that
Yeah.
most armies
Yeah.
don't even have. Like numbers that Soulblight Gravelords would be envious of.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now the question is, do clan rats actually do any damage whatsoever?
So no. But
Okay.
Storm Vermin do, Plague Monks do.
Ah, yes.
That
Okay.
kind of stuff. But yes, yeah, clan rats are 4s, no 1 damage. So I guess with
Okay.
bounty hunters, volume of attacks you might.
That'd be crazy with like
Yeah.
if they can do some damage anyway, like just I guess fours is really bad though.
Yeah.
So like you're not hitting often, and then the no rend is bad.
Yeah. So there's
But
like
it'd just be funny to say 2 damage with that. It's like, oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
by the way, that's 2 damage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just so like antithetical to what you're used to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. That being said though, like you can give +1 attacks with like the Vermin Lord. There's an artifact that gives +1 attacks to a unit. So you can do 3 attacks each.
That's pretty crazy.
So like that's not bad. That's just so much volume. And then
Yeah.
the stuff that's actually good with like that kind of stuff just becomes extremely deadly.
Yep. Extremely deady.
Extremely deadly.
It sounds very Skaven-y
Yeah.
to say it that way.
They'll be
Dead.
dead. At the same time even, yep.
Yep.
Alright. And then so basically how the sub-factions work is if you have a hero, you get the sub-faction. So if you have something with the Master Clan, you have something with the Pestilence, you get those. And they get better the more heroes you have. Sometimes you need 3, sometimes it's just additive.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yep. So we'll start with Master Clan. Master Clan, they basically can pass off wounds to any, on a 3-up to, I guess, any other Skaven, it looks like. Would be allocated to a friendly Master Clan hero that's non-monster. 3-up, it was allocated to one of those units instead of that hero. Alright, let me just read it. Okay, roll a dice before you allocate a wound or mortal wound to a friendly Master Clan hero that is not a monster. Or instead of making a ward roll for the wound or mortal wound that is within 3 inches of any friendly Skaven that have 3 or
There
more
it is.
models. Okay, that's what I was looking for.
Yep.
So, that's a lot of things. Most likely going to be your clan rats, of course, but
Yeah,
in a pinch
sure.
it can be your rat ogres who are good now, by the way.
Nice. There
Yep.
you go. Now they just need a model.
They need a model so fucking bad. Holy shit, dude. Yeah.
They're bad. The old ones are bad, aren't they?
Yep. But anyway, that's a good rule. And now there's the always 3 claw steps ahead, which is the real meat here. So,
Okay.
basically, if you have 3 Master Clan heroes, whenever you run, you can use that run roll for everybody. Keep in mind though, you can't like forward to or on the double, which is the 6-inch run. You can't
Yeah.
at the double and then use that 6 for everybody. You actually have to roll it for this, which is fine.
Okay. Now, do you have to use that roll for everybody, or could you use it for?
So
Or could you use their own individual rolls?
the way it's worded is you roll the first time you roll. At that moment, you get to pick that for everybody. So you can, but you can't be
Okay.
like, I don't like the first one. I rolled the second one. Oh, I like the second one. I'll go with that. No, you have to
Okay.
make that choice on the first one.
That checks out.
Yep.
So basically, if it's reasonable on the first one, you go with it. If it's not, then
Yeah. That same thing applies to charge rolls, too. So the first charge roll you make, everybody gets that charge.
And suddenly it got a lot spicy.
And another reason why it's a lot spicier, too, is because it doesn't say unmodified charge roll.
Oh my god, get out of here. Stop it.
Yep.
Come on.
And this is what I mean, where like it feels like it has old design sensibilities.
Oh.
Yep.
Doesn't that feel like it's gonna get errated, though?
It probably shouldn't be like that,
Yeah.
but it leads to some really cool synergies.
Oh, I bet it does.
Yeah, and like this is a very synergy-driven book.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem like, a 3rd edition design principle.
No,
Right?
no, it really doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe they're making, sneaky Skaven doing all these weird things.
Yeah.
So I can kind of get it if that's what they're trying for.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, people are like, I hate this. And I'm like, I get it. People are like, I love this. And I'm like, I do too. It's cool. But I don't know if it's healthy necessarily. But
yeah.
In the meantime,
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I'll take advantage of it. Yeah.
That's like one of those things where you almost have to like judge the book in 2 different ways. Like if that's if that's gonna stay and if it's not gonna stay.
Yeah.
Because it feels like it could kind of go either way.
Because imagine if Night Haunt was written like that.
Right?
Yep. Oh my god, yeah. No. Nope. We don't want that. But Skaven, I guess it's fine because you're not giving rend on high charges. But you're still getting there, so
yeah, I know, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know.
Like that's obviously extremely powerful, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then
like my immediate reaction was get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
And like I guess I'll bury the lead here. Clan Molder has a ability where they give their rat ogres +3 to charge.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yep.
You knew it was somewhere.
Yeah. So it's not even just like, well, it's just a banner somewhere that's +1 and you get like a little bonus. It's like, no. There's a high incentive to run rat ogres with Master Clan.
Yeah, there you go.
For that reason, yeah.
Yep.
And like I bought one of those old metal Master Molders too. He's coming.
Oh my god.
I think he's so charming. I am not buying GW rat ogres though.
I don't
I
blame
refuse. But anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that list is gonna be really fun. And then
unless you're buying the Blood Bowl one, and then that one's pretty sweet.
That might be the way to do it. Because I have 2 Island Blood ones. And those are just nowhere to be seen now.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then I might get one of those, and then like the extra from the Grace here on the bell. That might be the way to do it. I'll think about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. And we're not even done with 3 Claw Steps Ahead.
Oh my god. In addition.
Yeah, the last part is the first time you make a pile-in move, everybody in your army gets to pile in. And then they also get to pile in when they're selected to fight.
Do they have to be in combat to pile in?
Yes.
Okay, alright. That's something.
But, so, remember that lead from the scurry away rule? Where you can run away?
Yep.
Sometimes, if you don't have your 3 Claw Steps Ahead, you're buried deep inside enemy units. And you get like 2 pile-ins, you get 6 inches of movement to try to unnestle yourself from that horrible situation.
Yep. I mean, you do have to get closer with each pile-in. Or at least as close, right?
Yeah, but if you're tied for 2, you pick which way to go.
Oh, you just like...
Yeah, you can
scurry around the side. Yep.
So this is like when I mean it's like a very Johnny techie book.
Oh, it sure sounds like
You have to think about that kind of stuff. And
yep.
Yeah, it's very exciting for people like me, and probably less so for people like you.
Well, yeah, it's still cool.
You think?
It's just
I
it's
feel
just
like you'd
not my play
appreciate it.
style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I'm not trying to say anything here, but
God, what are you calling me, Alex?
I'm saying
Jeez.
you like raw numbers.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm like, this guy's pointed extra because he can run away, and you'd be like, I don't care.
I want to be in there.
Yeah,
Give me big
yeah,
numbers.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
you're
what I
right.
mean.
I
Yeah.
know you're right. I was just giving you
I just didn't
shit.
want to be called out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, very strong rule.
Yeah. Yeah,
Master.
that's actually crazy.
Now we jump to Molder. So their thing is the first Hell Pit Abomination you take, you get to pick one of these mutations. And the one that you're probably going to take is 16 wounds and a 4-up save, where they normally are 14 wounds with a 5-up save. And
Oh, that seems good.
yeah, and if you have 3 Master Molders, basically, or your only Eshin heroes, or not Eshin, Molder heroes, you get to pick a mutation for each Hell Pit Abomination you roll. So, not saying you should be that guy, but if you're the guy who wants to run 4 Hell Pit Abominations and 4 Master Molders, or 3 Master Molders to get all the buffs, like there's some fun there for sure.
Is the Hellpit Abomination that crazy looking stitched together thing?
Yes,
Okay, alright. That's what I thought it was,
and
but I
it's
wasn't sure.
so cool. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just,
that thing is awesome.
and like we'll get to it there. I think there's just one flaw with it that makes it really. It would be like an extreme competitor, I think. Other than that, and it's random
Oh, whatever.
movement.
Oh, it's got random
It's got
movement.
2d6 move.
Yeah,
So
that
like you
hurts.
can't count on it, but there's a
There's no
lot
way to
of fun to be
reroll it.
had there. Um there's no reroll. One of these is you get to move 7 automatically and charge 7 automatically with it.
Okay.
And that's cool.
Yeah. It doesn't really fix it,
Yeah.
but
And then there's like a one
but
that you
that's the casual list for sure. That's like the oh, I want to do this. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be
yeah.
so weird and random, and I'm gonna love it.
Mhm. There's actually a couple of those too, like the Doom Wheel lists are going to be good, I think. Or not like good, but like playable and fun.
Sure.
Good, right?
And this actually feels like a better to me. It feels like a better way to do like random as opposed to I know, it's fine. I'll live with it.
Yeah.
I don't have to play there. But like the like randomly like oh you just died or oh whoops I did way more damage than I ever should have.
Yeah.
You know those kinds of random.
Mhm.
I think the moving is actually very interesting because it's not just like raw damage,
Yeah.
and that being random makes it like, I didn't get as much move as I thought I was going to. I can't rely on this,
Yeah.
and you kind of like play this weird numbers game of like that feels more fun to me for whatever reason than just like oops I died or oops I just randomly just
Yeah.
rolled really well and just the game's over.
Yeah, exactly. And
It's
like
like still a game to be played afterward.
yeah, I think you're right too. And I think too that like with the Hell Pit Abomination, like there's not too much random to it. And like movement is fine. It's kind of annoying, but it's fine. And
Yeah,
then you have stuff in here in this chart to mitigate that.
yeah,
So like you
and
can
I'm
lean
not saying
down
it's
into
gonna
the
be like
faction that you or the ability that you want from it too.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm
so
not saying it's like gonna be competitive, but like it would at least be like a fun thing to do. That's
yeah.
not gonna feel like oh look I just I rolled super well so I won or I didn't so I
Yeah.
lost like
And
immediately.
like again, I could see one Hell Pit Abomination actually being competitive.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's just the movement like that makes it a hard ask.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And it's just one of those things where it's like, what do you get for this? Like instead of just picking a unit of 4 rat ogres, and if the answer is like a model I can look at, then that's a good enough answer for me, to be honest.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, but
Oh,
this is yeah, and Molder's like got some good stuff too. So this isn't
sweet.
like nothing to sneeze at. Clan Eshin, this one's weird. So started the burst battle round. You after determining who goes first. If you have an Eshin hero, you pick an enemy unit, and you add 1 to hit and wounds rolls for attacks made by Clan Eshin models that target that hero. If you have 3 or more, you add 1 to hit and wound rolls for melee weapons. to all enemy heroes.
I gotta read that again.
Okay. You want me to read it for you? Or
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Okay. At the start of the first battle round, after determining who has the first turn, but before the first turn begins, you pick one enemy hero on the battlefield. Add 1 to hit and wound rolls for attacks period, made by friendly Eshin units that target that hero.
Oh, I see where this is going weird.
Yeah. And then, so if you have 3 or more, you just only add 1 to hit and wounds for melee weapons.
But against all enemies.
Yes. That doesn't seem like that was intended to me.
That's bizarre.
Right?
So, like, it's different. It's like a different ability.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you have... Well, does Skaven have, like, a lot of shooting that's not just mortal wounds?
Eshin does. Oh, no.
Eshin
No,
does.
that's not just mortal wounds.
Yeah.
You know, actually,
yeah, because if it's just mortal wounds, like...
Eshin does, yeah.
I guess.
Because they have 6s to hit or mortal wounds, but, like, the Vermin Lord has, like, the... Oh, I guess all of them have 6s to mortal wound, but the heroes actually have a good profile outside of being mortal wounds. So, like, it will matter. It's
Weird.
like 3s rend 1. Even though there are 6s to mortal wound. Right? Like, that doesn't seem intended. Or they are, like, really trying to incentivize you bringing one Eshin hero.
It feels like a weird... Okay. I guess I can, like, forgive them almost anything because you can say it's like, ooh, it's a weird Skaven-y thing. Okay.
Yeah. That's the theme of today's show. Yep.
Yeah, right. It might be. I don't know. That was weird.
I think even on the surface, like, +1 to hit and wound against every hero in melee for what could be your entire army. It's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, and like... And then, like, the thing I don't know, too, is, like, do you still get, like, the first half of it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
right?
so, like, you get...
Does it say instead?
It doesn't say instead. So maybe the rules is you pick a favored one, and then you're just good against everybody, but you're extra good against the favored one.
Do the other ones say instead, or do the other ones appear additive?
The other ones are additive.
Okay, so that's probably what that is, then.
Yeah.
You probably pick the one, and then you also get it for melee for everyone else.
Yep.
That actually makes sense. Okay, that's a little less weird. Yeah.
You just have to think through. Like, this is a complicated book. You got to think it through.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because at first it felt like a replacement ability.
Yep.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's a replacement ability to me.
No, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's additive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially if all the others are additive.
This one's interesting too. It's the Verminous one. So if you have a Verminous Claw Lord, you can't do this with the Vermin Lord Warbringer. You have to be the Claw Lord. Is you get a new heroic action that you get to pick a command trait and have it for the turn.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I love that.
It's really
that's
cool.
So cool.
Yep. And one of them is
really
the better morale. Like you lose D3 guys instead of your morale.
Okay.
Yeah, and one of them is like ignore the first 2 damage each phase. There's one that's +2 attacks if you strike first.
Oh, that's such a cool idea.
Yep.
I mean, okay. So, I guess that's like...
contingent on how good the Vermin Lord, or the Claw Lord is?
Well, I was going to say it adds more mental load, but like... to it, but you don't have to use it either, so like it's okay. And then like if you do know like there's fun things, it seems like a techie book, so like it's the kind of thing where you learn it and then like you figure out all those little things you can do in different situations, and you're all like, ha ha ha, look at how cool I am being able to do all these things.
It's for sure a techie book, right?
Yeah.
And so like I think you want that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, like if this was like an orc thing, I'd be like, get out of here.
Yeah, it's like, that's not orky.
Like,
what are you doing?
If the whole book sets you up for being techie, I think this is perfect along the lines.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for all the Skaven players that are like, I love the rats, and I also want to hit stuff with big things, and it's like, well, sorry, I got bad news for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some of that, but...
Yeah, there's some of that.
And we'll get to that for sure, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then what happens if you have 3 Claw Lords? You can do that heroic action with every Claw Lord in your army.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, it does depend on how good the clawlords are. That was also an accurate
Yeah.
statement you made. But
I have been bringing one a lot in my lists, and I've been only bringing one.
because it just feels like a techie thing that you want to have available to you, but you don't necessarily want to have like you don't need to overdo it.
Yeah. And I think the Claw Lord's actually good. We'll talk about his War Scroll there, but
Oh, so actually, so does the heroic action change to like all clawlords get it type of thing?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not all characters, but yeah, so you'd need 3 Claw Lords. And it's just like bringing 3 of any hero. Like I
It's
can
tough.
tell you how good like Kurlghast Cruciator and like Guardian of Souls are in Nighthaunt and like how they're an auto include. I
Yeah.
have never ever brought 3, right?
Right.
And so that's like kind of a limitation there.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're ever gonna get to the 3 part.
So it seems like 2 is absolutely the wrong number of clawlords.
Yeah, 2 is right out.
2 is right out.
Yeah, I think 1 is perfect though.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
Unless you want to run 3 of like 2 different things and then you don't even run one at all, I suppose.
Yeah, and then see how cool this book is? Like with so many like levers to pull, give and takes.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's so good. My only issue is I'm not running this.
You're not running what?
I'm not running whatever else.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, I got you.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
yeah, there's just so much design decisions in your list building.
Mhm.
Like if your list building's your favorite part, like you're gonna have a wet dream over this book. Like it's so fucking well designed in that regard.
Yeah.
So like yeah, I'm a big fan of this book if you couldn't tell already.
I can
Yeah.
definitely tell. Yes.
Yeah. I don't know which one I like better over this or Sylvaneth. I like the Sylvaneth
Sylvaneth
has the
seems
design principles of like 3rd edition carrying him, but
yeah.
I love like because there's definitely some armies you read too, and you're like, well, this is obviously the way to go, and the army kind of
Yes.
builds itself, and like
Yep.
this so doesn't do that,
Yeah.
and like there might be dominant builds that appear out of the book,
Oh, of course.
and like that's just the way it is, but like
Yeah.
in the
That's a meta
meantime,
for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
The funny thing about metas is like if everyone's running the same thing in a tournament, it's just because it's probably that there's another list in there somewhere that is actually probably like good, but like some percent worse than that build. So you run
yeah,
the meta build. And the meta build is better known. So like you can find more information on how to play it, yada yada
yeah,
yada. More refined.
and if you like to build to try to counter the meta, this book has tools to try to do that for sure. Yeah.
Seems like it does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Clan Scryer didn't change whatsoever, but I'll go over it real quick. So you get D3 plus 3 Warpstone tokens if you have a Scryer hero. Okay, actually this changed. So if you have 3 of them, you get D6 plus 3 Warpstone tokens. And what Warpstone tokens are is a currency, like command points almost, that you can spend for one of 3 effects. Pick a hero. You can, in the hero phase, they take a D3 mortal wounds on a 1, and then all your Scryer wizards can reroll casts this turn. There's one to do in the shooting phase, which you give a unit plus 1 damage on their weapons, and on a 1 that hero suffers D3 mortal wounds. And then the last one is you add 1 to the hit and wound rolls of melee weapons by a unit, and then that hero suffers D3.
So do they always suffer D3?
So you roll a dice, and on a 1 they suffer D3.
Do they still get the effect even if they roll the 1?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yep.
See, that's
I knew
the
about what
design
you're gonna
space I
say.
like.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, like
that's
there's a
much,
cost
that's
to
much
it
better.
instead of it just didn't work.
Yeah, it's yeah. I've gone over that a million times, but I guess I'll repeat myself
Yeah,
again
go for it.
for the sake of
Anyone new?
It's like it sucks like when you like have an ability that's like this just might not work on a 1, but otherwise you get it. It's like why am I rolling this extra die and like not being able to count on my abilities, and it feels bad because all it leads to is feels bad when you don't get it, because most of the time you're going to get it and then it just feels bad when you don't.
Yeah.
But like if they want to add something like that into the game, like I like this design space so much better, where it's like you take some amount of mortal wounds on the 1, but you still get the ability.
I think we
It's
even
still
said
just a feels bad.
Yeah.
I think we came up with this exact solution. It still feels bad, but at least you get your ability that you're counting on, right?
Yeah, and like the Night Haunt book, we literally said too is like the rule over the spirit host work, and it just killed your general. Like maybe it would be worth it, right? So like on a 4-up you get the unit, and on a 1 through 3 you get the unit and the general slain, or something like that. Like
I don't really remember the ability.
It was the one that like the whole unit comes back on a 4-up as your command trait once per game.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
they deep strike within 3 of an enemy instead of within 9. Or outside
Right,
of 9.
it's just like so ridiculously swingy.
Yeah, and we're like, if your thing's overpowered, you don't balance it by putting a dice roll on it.
Right, exactly. Because that just makes it overpowered or nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can talk about that till we're blue in the face. That's the better incentive structure. But overall, +1 damage on something that's 3d6 attacks is pretty good. Yep. +1 to hit and wound on melee. You can do it on your Storm Fiends. Oh no, made by that hero. Okay. So, the Arch Warlock has an okay amount of attacks. That thing's not anything to write home about, but it's a nice little thing in your back pocket. The +1 to hit and wound in melee with your hero.
Yep.
Overall, though, good abilities. Storm Fiends are good. They're still good. And then this one's a fucking doozy. Holy shit. So, it's Clan Pestilence. And every time you make a chant with the priest, all other priests within 13 inches get +1 to their chant rolls for the turn. And this stacks. So the first one gives...
Oh.
So it's +0, +1, +2. So on and so forth.
Yep.
And then if you roll a 6+, not an unmodified 6, a 6+,
oh boy,
you trigger a Great Plague. And they all have various effects. You can only trigger a Great Plague once per turn, and you can't trigger the same one multiple times in a game.
Okay.
So the first...
Alright, so they limited it a little bit like that.
So the first one you always do. I kind of like that design better, by the way, too, because like these were in the books. Like, oh, if you rolled a 6, you got the special effect. And then like most games, they didn't show up. But now like you can build towards them.
Yeah,
even though it's actually extremely weird.
It's very weird, but like I guess I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're powerful, too. So the first one you always pick is the Never Plague, which gives you reroll chance for your army.
There you go. Yep. That definitely helps you get the next one.
I'm going to paraphrase
You're already
these.
running like 3 of this.
I don't need to read the text of all of these, but one of them... So they're all within... They all have to pick the closest enemy thing within 13 outside of that one that rerolls. So one of them is 2d6 mortal wounds. If it kills the unit, d6 to the next closest. If it kills that, d3 to the next closest. Within 6.
That was a unit, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But I had a game where I got that chant off, and I did everything, and I rolled an 11, and then the Hydra I fought had 1 wound left. It was a tragedy.
Oh, what a tragedy.
Yeah, but I did 11 damage.
You only did 11 damage to it? Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, look what I did again. I forgot to change the title.
Oh, no. Again. We're doing the Sylvaneth book review.
I am so bad at that. I am so sorry,
Goodness
buddy.
gracious. We did that last week.
We did
if
that
you
last
really
week.
want to see Sylvaneth, it is up on YouTube on Grand Alliance Death.
You know,
you can watch it there.
Actually, I think
But we'd love if you would stick around for the
Skaven one. Yeah.
Skaven one as well.
You know what? I can get that link pretty quickly, I believe.
There you go.
Yep. Hold on. I'll put it in the chat for you. Sorry, buddy. I feel terrible about that.
But also, thank you for giving us the opportunity to plug the YouTube channel.
Yeah, actually, that's a great opportunity for us. Yeah, there you go. That's the Sylvaneth one if you want to watch that one. Sorry, again. Man, I'm so bad at that. Anyway.
It's okay.
Yeah, Crimson Wheel Curse is, you put a mortal wound on an enemy unit, and then for the rest of the game, at the beginning of the hero phase, that and everything around them takes a mortal wound.
Okay.
So, it's just like a little dot. I don't think I picked that one often.
Yeah.
We have the Red Maw Plague, which you pick an enemy hero, and you control them for that turn's combat.
What? Oh, that's just wild.
It's wild, yeah.
That's wild.
So you control them, so you get to do anything on their war scroll. So,
Oh no,
That's
oh my god, I can't
Kairos
even
is
imagine all the crazy
once
things.
per game a thing where you get to reroll a dice.
Yeah.
You can use his once
Oh
per
my
game
god.
reroll to kill his own unit.
Oh my
That's
god. Oh,
fun.
there's so many. There's so much wrong with this,
Yeah,
but like
Gotrek can fight
also,
twice.
oh my
Yeah,
god.
all the above.
All right,
Yep.
that's crazy and hilarious and awful. And
Mm-hmm. It's
are
funny.
you sure you picked the other one first every time? Because that one seems like you could pick that one first,
You have
and
to
it
be
would be
within
really
13.
okay.
So you have to be within
Oh,
range.
so it's probably not gonna happen turn one, is what we're saying. So you're
Yes.
probably gonna get it turn one because you're building into it.
Yep.
Okay, I see. I see. All
Mm-hmm.
right, that makes sense.
Yeah, like, no, it's super good. There's no doubt about
Oh my
that.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't you dare take my Vanguard and make them fight the extra time
Yep.
on your turn.
Oh, you can
Screw
do
you.
that with the Knights of the Empty Throne.
Oh my
Because they're a
god.
hero there, and you can take control of a hero.
Oh, is there only heroes you can take control of?
Yes.
Okay, alright.
Nearest
But still,
enemy
I mean,
hero
that's
is in
still
hand.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sure.
And then the last one is a Horde Thinner on a 4-up.
Okay.
Yeah. All of them are good.
Yeah, they do sound good. And man, that one sounds silly.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to make of that.
Players hate that one.
I bet.
Yeah. Whew.
Is there like people that are like upset about that one?
Like the power level of it?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh, okay. I thought that's what you were saying.
No, but
Sorry.
like I feel
You
like
weren't.
that could
What?
be because when I was playing against Daughters of Cain and I said I could do that to him, he was like, "What the hell, really?"
Yeah, oh
I'm
yeah.
like, "I'd rather do 2d6 mortal wounds right now, but I could do that to you, and you better watch your backo." Yeah.
Watch your backo, bucko.
Yeah. Yep. So the command traits, I don't know if you're looking at what I'm looking at right now. This thing is a disaster. Whoever like laid
Oh,
this out. And
I'm not looking at it yet, but I will be shortly, and I
yeah.
know what it looks like because I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to throw shade at the guy who did this, like put the art on, or put the page together because I know you didn't want to do this. I know for a fact that like your boss told you to put it like this so you can save like $10,000 on printing it or whatever. And like this hurts you as a designer. You might be able to take legal action against that guy. But like this is atrocious.
Oh,
And
well, yeah.
and you know
It's
what? Honestly, I don't know why they didn't just put like the rules for the faction and then the command traits and then the artifacts there. And the
it
reason
could
for
have been done better.
yeah, and the reason for that is because there's a command trait that everybody can have. And it's called Devious Adversary. And it's basically if you're fighting with your general and they're fighting and they're in combat with something that hasn't fought yet, you add 2 to all of your attack profiles. So, it seems unassuming at first, but then you remember that you have Vermin Lords, and some of them have multiple attack profiles with 2 and 3 damage.
Oh, yeah. There you
Yep.
go.
Or even like with 1 attack profile, that's good. Like
Yep.
that's a really good command trait for a hammer monster.
Yep.
Yeah, like I would take that
There
and
it is.
like if Gristlegore, like that was their like command trait, like +2 attacks on your Terrorgeist. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, sign me the fuck up.
Yeah, it's not exciting, I don't think, but it's certainly good. And then there's going to be places where you want this.
But see, I like the design space of like, I mean, I think we talked about it before, but like, I like the design space of like, just better numbers.
Yeah.
And like, you can give the fancy stuff for the people that want it, but like, also just like, have something that's just better numbers. Like, even if it's not quite as good, like, I'll probably run the just better numbers most of the time, because it'll end up being better for me, because I'll actually remember it.
Yeah.
And that's a really weird thing to say, yeah, I get it. But like, at the same time, like, there's a lot to keep track of in this game, and if I don't need to remember a special like once per game ability and can instead just be like, this just hits twice extra. Like, I can remember that. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm using this guy because he attacks twice extra. Great.
Yeah, exactly. And like it's
Not attacks twice extra, you know what I mean.
yeah,
Two
it
extra
gets 2
attacks.
extra attacks, yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's a good ability. Like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And like you're gonna have uses for this.
Yep.
Um
That's probably the one I would pick every time.
I've picked it already in my games. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not the one I would pick every time because there's like actually a lot of good ones.
Oh, sure.
We'll talk about the Master Clan ones. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read all 3 of. So each clan has 3 special ones. We'll read all 3 and then we'll talk about which one's the obvious take, or if there is one.
Do they each have a pretty obvious take?
Some of them do, and I think some
Okay,
of them are
we'll
very
get
interesting.
into
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So Master Clan, one of them, you can be a Supreme Manipulator, which you get to re-roll the inspiring leadership or heroic action. We got Master of Magic, which is named as the same exact thing as the core book, but it's different, where you get to re-roll all of your spell casts.
Oh, interesting.
And then you have a Supreme Manipulator or Diabolic Schemer, which is whenever an enemy issues a command within 13 inches of you on a 5-up, they lose the command point, you get the command point, and they lose the command.
I think these are why I prefer the +2 attack.
Yep. And like this excites somebody like me.
So lost so fast.
But like to me, I think you take Master of Magic every time here.
To reroll all your casts?
Yeah.
Is that what that one was?
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And like you have 2 cast wizards that are, some of them are +2. Like I don't know. I think you just take that for Master Clan and be very happy with it because it's very powerful.
Yeah.
The only reason why you wouldn't take it is because you're running cogs.
And you don't need it.
Yep.
Fair enough.
But yeah. So alright, we have Master of Magic, Devious Adversary. And like just the one that is like you can steal command points in a 13-inch range. Like it's good. I'm not gonna say it's not. But like it's on a 5-up and you have to be like close. And you don't necessarily
you have to
be close.
And they have to be using the so as if they use a command point within 13 inches of you?
Yeah.
Well, your opponent can just your opponent has the decision of whether or not it does anything.
Yeah.
And that's always been like all right, Magic time. Like whenever you had a card that was like your opponent picks one of 2 effects, both of them are bad for them, but they get to pick the one that's less bad in the situation. They're never going to pick the one you want.
Yeah.
So like anytime you give your opponent like if you don't need the command point, they'll be like, yeah, I don't care. I'll use it. And if you do care, they're not going to use it.
And so,
right?
I think somebody would say to me, but Alex, Lady Olander has this, and you were pretty high on that ability for Lady Olander. And yes, she did, but she had no opportunity cost of the command trait to have it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Which
that goes back to the other thing of life gain on a card is
incidental life gain. Yep.
Incidental life gain is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, spec'd out life gain, not so much.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, Master of Magic. Let's see. And we have Molder. So they have Cunning Mutator, which is once per game. If a pack or fighting beast dies within 3 of you. Oh no. Cunning Mutator is a 3-up bodyguard to your Clan Molder units. Which is fine.
Clan Molder's the one that has the ogres, right?
Yeah.
And the abominations?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can pass them off to your gigantic abominations and stuff?
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
The problem with Molder being your general is if you really feel comfortable making your 5-wound, 5-up save guy a general, be my guest.
Oh, but you're never going to want him getting hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, let's see. What else do we have? We have... It's a 13-inch bubble of +1 to hit and wound. Which, yeah, admittedly, that's powerful. But we also have a lot of ways to give +1 to hit and wound in this book.
Yeah, sure.
Like the Molder natively gives +1 to wound to one of the rat ogres. So this makes it a bubble. and then you'll have like all out attack, or you can have the relic, the Rabid Crown, which just gives a +1 to hit bubble. And the
Okay,
relic
so
is
it's
a much
kind of like
better.
it's a bit redundant.
It's a bit redundant, but if you don't have those things in your list, this could be a good pick. I would say.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Right? Yeah.
Like if you're running just like the pure Abomination list, maybe you like it.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Did I get that right? Is that this one?
Yep, you're right.
Hell yeah,
You're getting
did
there.
it. That's the list. Okay, so like with each of these books, I'm like trying to come up with like
The list you'd want to be.
a, the list I would want to build, and so far it's definitely. It probably shouldn't be, but it's definitely the Abomination list so far.
It's fun. Yeah.
It seems like it.
And I guess we'll talk about the Abomination when we get there, but
Yep.
this one's going to be a lot harder to do because there's so many angles to this book.
Oh, sure.
Like,
Sure.
it's almost unfair to call, like, the clans, like, the same army. You just have a very
But
good
it's
palette.
cool because you can like mix and match as much as you want.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It's well designed. It's just a lot.
Oh, it seems like a ton. Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. And then the last one is Horde Master, which is the one I thought I was talking about earlier. So you get to bring back a unit once per game on a 3-up.
Well.
Yep. And the reason why this one's extra egregious too is because they have a command ability, the Pack Master, or the Master Molder does. That is just this on a command ability. But Alex, you don't have to spend the command point to do it here. Okay, you spent your command slot though.
Yeah, you spent your exactly.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Yeah, it's like okay.
Yeah.
2/3 of the time, yeah, you'll get something really cool, and then 2/3 of the games you just won't. It's just gonna
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
to me, the clear winner is Molder Supreme, which is the +1 to hit and win bubble.
Yeah, I think so.
But also, again, I don't know if you ever want to make your 90-point 5 wound, 5-up save guy your general. And, like, I talk about how good Bodyguard is, like, with Cunning Mutator, a lot. But you have a battle line unit that has Bodyguard naturally, so...
Right.
It's on a 4-up, not a 3-up, so that's different, but... I
But
don't rate it as
different
highly.
enough, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Eshin now. So we have Unrivaled Killer, which means they get to be 2 heroes for the Allegiance ability instead of 1. I think that's a cool design space. I don't know what makes them Unrivaled Killer about that, really, but it's not a combat buff. Doesn't it sound like it would be a combat buff?
It sounds like it'd be a combat buff.
Yeah.
But maybe the Skaven don't work that way. We'll go with that.
Yeah, you're just... Yeah, on Vince's show, they're like, you're overselling what you did with this command trait.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's fine.
Unrivaled Killer isn't exactly Unrivaled Killer. It's you said you were an unrivaled killer way too much.
And, like, this thing could have been, like, called, like, Master of Recon or, like, Surveillance Expert. Or something like that. It would have been, like, way more apt, I think. But anyway. Shadow Master. It can't be picked to be the attacks with a missile weapon while they're within 1 inch of a terrain feature. Suck it, Lumineth.
They can't be picked. Oh, they did it the correct way.
Yep, they cannot be picked.
Make it okay. Not that they can't be seen, that they can't be picked. There
Correct.
you go.
Yep.
There you go. All right.
And then
Which one was that had it the wrong way? That was like can't be seen. And you're like, oh come on, Lumineth don't care.
It was Cruel Boys had that.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. And then the last one, Incredible Agility. Listen to this one. The general can fly. In addition, you can carry out the finest hour core action with this general twice in the same battle round instead of once.
Oh yes. In addition, you could do the good thing.
Flying is really good.
Fly is good. Fly is good.
Because, like, you could put this on the Vermin Lord Deceiver, right?
Oh yeah. All right. I
So
didn't think about that.
this motherfucker could teleport outside of 6 of enemies with his spell. Charge in, fight, and then when they countercharge him, he can fly out of combat with Scurry Away.
It's true.
Yep. Like, I think it's obvious to me, like, this one's the clear winner.
Yeah.
But I think Shadow Master is actually interesting and good, too.
Oh, which one was Shadow Master?
Can't be targeted unless they're within 1 inch of a... They can't be targeted by shooting...
If they're within... Yeah.
1 inch of a building, yeah.
Alright, that feels more like a meta pick.
Yeah.
Which I think right now might be that meta.
Yeah, it could be.
But
That being said, though, the Deceiver has that ability. He just can't be picked to be shot unless you're within 12 inches of him.
oh, okay.
Yep. So he already kind of has that built in.
But you also don't want to be within 12 inches of him, I would guess.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. So
interesting. Okay.
that's why I like the flying one. And that one's being a little undersold. That's only incredible agility. All right, let's look at the verminous ones. So this is the
Incredible agility lets you fly.
yeah. I've never seen an athlete fly before.
No, me either.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like that seems like unrivaled killer to me. I don't know about you.
It seems much more like it, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
All right. So the verminous, if you remember, these are the claw lords. So you get to just
Okay,
pick
yep.
these with a heroic action too, which makes them way better.
Oh,
So,
yeah, okay. We gotta keep that in mind.
Yeah, Verminous Valor. So it's a 3-up ward to any Verminous units. So your clan rats and your storm vermin, but storm vermin already count. So just basically your 3-up ward on clan rats here.
Okay, so three up ward on clan rats.
3-up bodyguard on clan rats. My bad.
Oh, okay. That is actually very different.
That's very different. Yeah, because I was just thinking bodyguards like the ward, but no.
I was about to say, holy shit, that you'll never get through these guys.
No.
That's insane. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 3-up bodyguard is what I meant to say. Sorry.
Oh, that's still good.
Yep.
It's still good. It's just very different. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's obviously good.
Yep.
Savage Overlord, which is if a friendly Skaven unit within 3 of this general fails the battle shock test, you can say that they will restore order with savage brutality. If you do, that unit has not failed the battle shock test and they suffer D3 mortal wounds instead.
Okay, yeah, that's the one you were mentioning earlier.
So
yeah. Okay.
The way it's worded, and correct me if you think I'm wrong, I believe that means you can only do this to 1 unit per turn.
I'd have to hear it again.
So
I'm not sure.
It's if a friendly Skaven unit within 3 inches of the general fails a battle shock test, you can say that they will restore order with savage brutality. If you do so, it's not failed, and it suffers D3. But I feel like the reason they would call attention to that they do this action is that it's unique, but I don't know.
Nowhere in there says it is.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think you can do that as many times as you want.
Okay. Yeah, I don't actually know. I think it's way better if you could do it as many times as you want.
Yeah, for sure. I think you. I would say you can. Unless there's something somewhere that specifies only once per. I mean, they usually are very specific when you can only do it once per turn, right?
It reads rules as intended once per turn, but clearly rules as written is you can do it as much as you want.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's how I see it, but
they're just savagely going around to every unit, being like, "Hey,
behave."
Around.
Yeah. Get back in there.
Get back in line.
Yep.
You mangy scum.
But
we're gonna kill D3 of you.
I love
sure happens.
I love this ability, and like the fact that you don't have to give up your general because you're a verminous hero that used the heroic action.
What's funny is it also that ability is good to stop the crazy morale, but it also like doesn't feel quite as bad for your opponent because your opponent's like, well, I still did enough damage that they had to have some guys run away, right?
Yeah. And like on clan rats, it's probably not much, but there's like elite units that run away, and D3 mortal wounds to them is like substantial.
Yeah, it's something, right?
Yeah. Because you have like units of 5 in this book with like bravery 5.
It says D3 mortal wounds.
Yeah.
Specifically, not D3 or sling. Okay.
Suffers D3 mortal wounds. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I think that's very well designed.
Match.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last one is Powerful Alpha. The first 2 wounds or mortal wounds caused to this general in each phase are negated. Obviously good.
Yep.
Obviously very good on the Vermin Lord.
Yeah. No, that's very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's probably the one you take?
Yeah, it's hard for me to say because I think the last two especially have extreme value.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Well, oh yeah, because you're Skaven. You're going to be losing guys, right?
Yeah,
So it's not like you can. Yeah, you
yeah.
can't quite shrug off
You're a
the.
horde army with a 5 up bravery,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
with
you're.
bravery 5 rather.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like I don't know, man. Like this seems like there's actual options in this command list, and this is the one that you get
I,
to choose like every
I know,
turn.
right? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
See, isn't this
which is
book
super cool.
awesome? Like,
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
yep. Okay. So now we'll go to Scryer. So this one is if so basically you have weapons teams in this book, and then before you like as you deploy them, you secretly pick what unit they're inside of like clan rats or storm vermin. And then during the
Right.
shooting phase or the combat phase, whatever phase is relevant for the weapon team, they pop out. What this command trait does is normally if that unit dies before they pop out, that unit is the weapon team is slain. This
Okay.
this basically says they stay alive and they're set up outside of 3 inches.
Okay.
To me, this feels like you're planning for failure,
Yeah,
but like it's
but it's a failure that is
yeah, it's
maybe
charming.
sometimes out of your control.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. This just seems like it's a hard one for me to want to pick,
yeah, I
but
can definitely see that.
I don't think it's terrible either. Yeah, the other one is Master Scavenger. So you have two warps. You get two extra warpstone tokens at the beginning of the game. Which I haven't picked this one yet, but I feel like if you're feeling very starved for them, you should pick this one. But I just haven't felt that yet in my list.
You know, what's funny is like I need to remember now like what those do to weigh that one, and like I just can't remember.
They can give you like reroll casts in your hero phase, or they can give you +1 damage on your shooting weapons.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
Can you only do those abilities once per turn,
I
or
believe so.
okay?
But you start
And you do it
with
on your opponent's turn, or do they like last until your next hero
they
phase type of
last
thing?
till your next hero phase.
Okay.
But that basically means so like if you have one Scryer hero, you take him as your general, you take this, you're getting 5 plus D3. So you get 8 of those abilities. So you always have one basically. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, like, and if like you can at that point rely on having like you said +1 damage in for ranged attacks, right?
Yeah.
So like if you have like something you really want to shoot, is there like a good unit for that? Actually,
Storm vermin or storm fiends have like 3d6 attacks for the +1 damage with one of their
okay,
weapons, and then the other one's like 3 attacks. So that's pretty good. The Doom
yeah.
Wheels have I think 2d3 attacks or 2d6 attacks rather. So
Ooh,
that's
two
not
d
bad
six.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, is it like one damage weapon type of thing?
Yes. Oh well, the or the storm fiends are 1 damage. The Doom Wheel is D3.
Okay, I mean both of those sound like pretty good targets to have +1 damage on them.
Yeah, like +1 damage. Like you saw how worried we were in our like Galatian veteran review of like how good
Yeah,
+1 damage is, and it's
exactly.
on
Right.
shooting. Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's on shooting,
mm-hmm.
which is kind of weird to get.
Yeah, just having extra of those is pretty good.
Yeah,
The
I don't
reroll
hate that one.
casting is a little weird because you have like one spell that's like you really want to get, and then the rest of the Scryer lore is so phoned in.
Oh,
But we'll talk about that when we get there. But that's a pretty good one.
that's something I suddenly kind of like
Value, yeah,
maybe maybe making like a shooting heavy list with having extra scryer points and stuff.
yeah. And then the last
Okay.
one is Deranged Inventor. Is at the shooting phase, you pick one Scryer unit within 13 and you give them +1 to hit that turn. So it's a free all-out attack every turn.
I mean
That's
that
good
can't go
action
wrong there,
economy,
right?
right? Like good command point
Yeah,
economy. Yeah.
absolutely.
And then you can still all-out attack with your other weapon team. So there's some good options here too, I would say.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah. I think that just which one you take is depends on how you want to build your list. Like if you
Yeah,
like the idea of like a big block of reinforced storm fiends, I think you want the extra tokens usually, just to give them all +1 damage. But if you want to spread out, I can see value in the +1 to hit one too.
Yep.
I'd probably take the +1 damage more often, but we'll see.
I think you like kind of want to build around that one a little bit.
Yeah.
It feels like a list is there somewhere.
And if you find you have enough Warpstone tokens, you might want to fall back onto the +1 to hit.
Yeah.
This one you need to play to figure out. You need to find your style.
Yeah, and like whether this is how you want to get the extra tokens, or if you just want to have the 3 heroes to get the extra tokens, or how you want to do it.
Yeah.
Because 3 gets you D6 plus 3, right?
Yep.
So that's like almost always going to get you at least 5. So like if that's your style, you probably don't want to run this one because it's like you probably already have enough.
And I guess I shouldn't bury the lead here, but there's an artifact that gets you more Warpstone tokens too. So you might just be taking the artifact and then this as the command trait too.
Oh, so there's a lot of ways you can like figure out how to get your tokens.
Yeah.
I think that's relevant here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I like them all. That's the thing. It's good to have. Like I don't know about you, but there's like a lot of things here that I'm reading and I'm like, oh, actually, I could see the merit to a lot of these, and I really like them, and I want to build lists with these command abilities.
You just don't want to look at this page anymore.
Yes. So we'll hurry up because we have one clan left, and it's Pestilence.
Okay.
First one is add 1 to the chanting rolls to the general, which
well, hello.
Yeah, right. That one's
you got to go a few layers deep, but you definitely want to be controlling that hero.
Yeah.
Arbitrarily at some point, so.
But like,
gotta get that +1.
Yeah, like if you like a lot of lists I've seen and a lot of lists I've built too have like 3 priest easy.
Right.
And
makes sense.
So that means that if you use your general last, he gets a +4 to chant. So you need a 2 up to get the Great Plague.
Is it if you run 3, they each get +1, right? So it'd be
it's each one successive. So the first one gets no bonus. The second chanter gets +1.
Yeah, so the third chanter, which would be your general, which would get +2, right? +3 with this.
With this, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
but still,
you know what I
mean,
forgot
you only
too? The Nahul gives you +1 to chant.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Okay. There's something else.
So yeah, you can do that pretty easy.
Oh, yeah.
But like at the same time too, is like, is +4 just redundant? Is that just do you need it?
I mean, getting your abilities on a... I guess I'm always high on, like, being able to guarantee your stuff.
Yeah.
So probably is redundant, but, like...
But do I want
the times you don't get it, it's gonna suck.
Right?
Oh, yeah, I know. Magic? Yeah, it's like that better normally.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Let's see. And then we have Architect of Death. Are you ready to hear perhaps the worst command ability in the game? Or command trait?
Is it long-winded and also bad?
Not really long-winded, but it's terrible.
Oh, all right.
Add 1 to the damage characteristic of missile weapons used by Plague Claw units wholly within 18 of this general. The Plague Claw is a 140-point unit with 1 attack.
What the fuck? Is it one model?
Yes.
It with 1 attack.
One model with 1 attack. Add +1 damage.
What? That had to be something different at some point, right? Like, what?
So, I think what this was is there is a War Scroll battalion that gave them +1 damage in the old book.
Okay.
And, like, that wasn't that much of an opportunity cost because it was all shit that you were bringing.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I guess I might as well, like, 1 extra whatever. And I think they just copied and pasted it into this section without reading it.
I see.
But, like, it could have very easily been +1 attack and been usable. But they chose not to do that. But, like, this is awful. Right? Like, there's no defending that.
That sounds really bad.
Yeah.
Is it, like, a good attack, at least?
I think it's, like, a 2/2 D6. We'll get to it. I don't quite remember.
1 extra attack would have been really good and, like, very playable, and they made it just bad.
Or if it's D6 damage, it could have been reroll the damage I don't know.
I mean, is it all of them within 18 inches?
Yes. So if you bring all 4 of your artillery slots on these, you could increase your damage by 4 a turn.
More like 3.
Yeah, because you're gonna miss with
Still
1.
need to. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
But 3 a turn over the course of a game?
Yeah, you might kill a support hero.
It's, well, let's see. You get, we'll say you have 4 turns, not 5. You get an extra. You get an extra 3 damage a turn.
All right, Bill. Let me put it this way: Are you ever taking
12
that?
damage. I don't know. I was just trying to math it out a
You're
little
trying
bit.
to math it out. All right, all right.
You could try to get 12 extra damage out of that per game.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the end of the world.
It's not the end of the world. All right, fine.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
It is.
All right, I'll concede it's not the end of the world. Yeah, but like we just have like so many good ones here.
Yeah, you're never running.
And then you
it,
read that, and you're like, all right.
You know what? Now I kind of want to make my list that guy with that thing.
All right.
With whatever those units are called. I can't even say it, Alex.
Yeah.
I don't even know any of these units to say what I'm trying to say.
So funny.
Oh man.
So funny. All right. Yep.
Anyway.
And then the last one is ridden with poxes. And so at the end of the combat phase, roll a dice for each enemy unit within 3 inches, and on a 4-up, they take D3 mortal wounds. There's the argument for this is you take the Plague Priest on the furnace and you just jettison him right into the enemy line. And then he's -1 to wound, 15 wounds, 4-up save, 5-up ward.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, like, I don't hate that. I see the argument there.
But is it 12 more damage, Alex?
Probably. It's probably more, even.
It probably is.
Yeah. And is it on a thing that you really want to run? I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I think Master of Rotten Ruin, which is the add 1 to the chant rolls, is the winner here.
It probably is. But you might be right that it's redundant.
I think it's redundant, is the thing.
Is there a unit that would be better served just with +2 attack?
Any Vermin Lord.
So maybe you just do that?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Alright, and then we're going to go to artifacts. And it's still written the same way. Master Clan. The Gnaw Shard is whenever you deal damage to an enemy hero. For the rest of the game, they take a mortal wound at the beginning of each turn. Don't care. Skaven Brew. You pick an enemy unit within 3 inches, you deal D3 mortal wounds to them, and they add 1 to their attack characteristic till the next hero phase.
Is that like once per game?
No. It's once per turn.
So wait, you do damage to them and they get extra attacks?
You do damage to your own unit and they get extra attacks.
Oh, your own unit. Okay.
Yeah. And also...
Do you have to do it to your own unit? Just out of curiosity?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember what you said.
You have to do it to your own unit, but it can be anything. It doesn't have to be like battlefield line or summonable like it would be in Death.
Oh, okay.
It can be anything. So you could put this on a Vermin Lord before you just teleport him up midfield.
Right.
And then
do you have a way to...
Is
there a way to heal that we've gone over already?
Well, you have priests in this army like crazy, so you have the heal spell.
Oh, okay.
That's really about it. And like you have really good casts, so Emerald Lifeswarm might be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't think you have natural book ways to heal.
Okay. That's what I was curious about.
Yeah, but prayer's enough. And like heroic recovery on your Vermin Lords who are bravery 10. Because they're demons. Yeah. It's not bad.
Nope.
And then the last one is Staff of Rightful Supremacy. And it's a 13-inch bubble of -1 for enemy casts, and once per game, auto-dispel an endless spell. People brought this a lot at the beginning of 2nd edition when they played Skaven.
Mm-hmm.
I can see the value here. This is definitely like a silver bullet, though, wouldn't you think?
I think so.
Yeah. And I have no problem with that.
Now I can't remember. There was a Skaven endless spell, the one you set up 3 things and it zaps guys within like concentric circles. Is that still good and similar?
It's basically the same, but except for it doesn't stop flying anymore.
Okay. Is there value to I
Resetting it
can't
up.
really remember it. Yeah.
There might
That's what I
be.
was gonna say.
Just you need to reposition.
Hmm.
I don't. I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's a defensive one though, because I think there's a lot of endless spells that are coming. There might be value in like dispelling Ringy Dingy and then casting him right next to you again to move Thankful.
Well, so what I was gonna say is these kind of silver bullet ones, right?
If you
Like,
can also get an aggressive buff out of him, kind of.
yeah, like if you could always at least use it for something, and then you also have like a defensive tool as well, it's like way
Way
better
better.
than
Yeah.
if it's just a defensive tool against something that you might not face.
Honestly, is
Right?
resetting endless spells even that bad of a proposition? Like that you
That
bring?
bad?
Yeah, like if you bring a endless spell, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I don't love where it is anymore, and I have my staff that once a game just I dispel it and get to cast it again. With my
Oh, that's what I
+2
was
to
saying.
cast
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's what I'm
Yeah, that's
asking.
what I was,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So like,
Like,
I think that's
is
good.
that worth it enough that you could take this and get value out of it all the time, and then also um, once or and then when your opponent does have something that you really want to dispel, you have the ability to do so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like maybe resetting your cogs for the charge buff, like because everybody moved up the board now, is good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
That's also something.
There's a lot to unpack here. I think, right?
Yeah. It's probably not one you're gonna take, but like
I don't.
giving it the good old
Yeah.
thought experiment, maybe.
I feel like you're right. You got like if you take this, you have to think about how to use it in every matchup. But
Right.
I think it's going if the matchup where it's really good is everywhere, and like this is going to be a really nice silver bullet to have.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, and
Or if you're like particularly weak to like the like I don't know what's the Nagash head one?
oh, Horrorghast,
Horrorghast.
yeah,
Like if
that's
you're
a great
particularly
point.
weak to like I don't know. No, I'm not saying that's the case, but like if you're particularly weak to something and you can make use of it anyway, so you have the silver bullet to get around your weakness and also
Yeah,
I don't know, yeah, there might be something.
and honestly, the
Anyway,
13-inch bubble of plus or -1 to enemy cast might just be good enough too, because you can
it
put this
might
on a
be
13 wound, 3-up save, 4 or 5-up ward guy who
and just
bodyguards.
stick him in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, it might be. 13 inches is a pretty good range. It's maybe not usually enough to
yeah.
catch enemy wizards, but like
It's hard to say to not because you have
maybe
a spell that teleports them wherever you want them to be.
that's true.
Yeah, and your faction terrain teleports.
Yeah. So
So
yeah,
maybe,
maybe,
yeah.
maybe.
There's obvious value here, and it's an obvious not first pick, I think.
Yeah,
But
I
like,
agree with you.
I mean, even in like a command entourage, this is a pretty good second pick.
Yeah, that's what I was saying because it feels like this book is often going to take a command entourage, right?
I feel like, yeah, most lists I've had brought two.
Yeah, so there you
Just
go.
to say, yeah, there's definite value there.
Now, was this clan limited?
Master Clan, yeah,
Master clan. Okay.
yeah. All of them are going to be clan limited.
Okay.
So
I thought so,
yeah.
but I wasn't sure which one this one was.
We'll go over the Molder ones now. So Lash of Fangs gives your general or the bear guy 6s to hit or D3 mortal wounds in addition to any damage, and there are 6 attacks, so fine. Rabid Crown is the 13-inch bubble of +1 to hit for Molder fighting beasts in Molder packs. So that's like everything Molder except for Storm Fiends.
Okay.
That's pretty good. And then Foul Hide, which gives your general the wound characteristic of 10, and it can heal 1 wound allocated in each hero phase. Or the start of your hero phase, it heals 1.
Gives it a wound characteristic of 10?
Yeah. So
now, is this the one where you're saying it's like the guy with the 5 wounds type of thing?
Yeah. So if you want
So
to
he
give him
doubles his wounds?
the worst wound characteristic in the game because he can no longer be Lookout Sword, Be my guess.
Yeah, go for it. Well, okay, you're wasting your artifacts, so probably not. But like, it's probably still he's probably still safer than
Yeah,
he
5 wounds
was.
with -1 to hit is less than 10 wounds. Is your
Yeah,
point? Yeah.
yeah,
I love the idea of this, right? Like you just turn your
yeah,
molder guy into like this hulking monster.
yeah. But like, I want to build like a model for it, right? Like,
Yeah.
take the normal one and then like do something to it.
And like this one, if they did like they could future proof this if they had like a fighting molder hero. And then you're like, oh, all of a sudden he's got like a really good save, and then he's also 10 wounds. Oh my god. Right?
Right? Yeah.
Like the guys that you can give them to, I don't think really use this properly, but like I think there's a world where something like this could be good.
Yeah, it's like you want it to be good, but it's like not there.
That's how I feel, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Rabid Crown is obviously the pick here, but
Okay.
I think over the D3 Mortal Wounds on a 6 to hit.
Wait. Oh, is that what that one was you're saying?
Yeah, so your three, yeah, the three that you have are the 10 wounds,
Yeah.
6s to hit are D3 Mortal Wounds, or a bubble of +1 to hit.
The Rabbit Crown's the +1 to hit, you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Hmm.
That seems like the
What
best
do
to
I
me,
think?
right?
Sixes. I assume it's sixes to hit or D3 mortal wounds everywhere. Is it in addition or is it
In addition,
in addition? I don't know. That's pretty good.
it's pretty good, but again, it's
You
on
get like a lot. Is it like a lot of attacks or is it like not
6
a lot of
attacks.
attacks? 6 attacks. Oh wait, but it's on the guy that you don't want to be sticking in.
Yeah,
Right. Okay. Never mind. Yeah, I think the +1 to hit bubble is better.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's worth considering everything. And like,
No, for some reason I was thinking it was like a bubble of it, or like to something
oh
like the
no.
Abomination or something, and I'm like, that sounds good. Like,
Yeah, that's a
but
good
no,
point.
if
Yeah,
it's not, then yeah,
it's
okay,
just
never
the
mind.
bear's like lash whip.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I see
I
what you
was
mean
just
though. Yeah.
I was just thinking about it poorly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have Eshin here or Eshin artifacts. The first one is once per battle, you can burn this artifact to give your hero the strike first. I see
Okay.
value there.
Now, which one are the Ishin heroes?
The assassins,
Okay,
the ones that
that
like
doesn't.
pop out of enemy units and then just charge right in.
Okay, that
Be
doesn't sound
sneaky.
bad.
Yeah, they're good at fighting. I'll put it that way.
Yep.
The next one is once per battle at the end of your movement phase, you can teleport, or you can basically move them from the table, set them up and outside of 9 inches of enemies. That's pretty good,
That's, yeah,
but you have a lore spell that does this on a 7.
that's like not as relevant.
It's not as relevant, but if you need it like consistently, I don't hate it.
Yeah,
Or if you want to do it
and I
with
mean,
multiple healers in a turn.
are you definitely always taking wizards in this army? I guess that's the other
Yeah,
question I
I would
asked.
say.
Okay. Because like if you weren't like if there was a world where you weren't taking wizards, like you could it could be a good replacement
Well,
for that
because
ability as
remember the
well.
Master Clan ability that was so good? That's the wizard who gets to cast the teleport spell.
Oh,
And he's a
okay.
2 cast wizard at 125 points. He gets to roll 3 dice on one of them.
I see.
Yeah. And yeah, like I think you run the wizards every time.
Okay.
Thankful can cast it
Oh,
because
there
he's
you
a
go.
Gracier with his +4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the last one, this one's really cool. You pick a terrain piece within 6 of the bearer until your next hero phase. It's a null hole.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is really cool actually. I like those.
So, question. Null hole says impassable right on the tin, right on the war scroll.
Okay.
There's guys on the terrain piece. You make it
Oh,
a
what the
null
fuck
hole.
happens to him?
Yeah.
I have no
FAQ.
idea.
No idea. Nobody knows.
No clue.
But
Alright, what do you think the FAQ is gonna be?
obviously the unit's deleted it and it's never gonna come back. No. I think it's just gonna be like they are on it and they can like choose to move off of it, but you can't choose to move onto it.
I think it's gonna be if there's someone on it, they can set up the unit within 3 inches
Oh,
of
just pop
the
them
terrain
off.
piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pop them off.
If you pop up, that could be really. That could have some interesting ramifications,
It definitely could.
which is
But
cool.
I think that's the thing that like seems the most like what they normally do with
Yeah,
those kinds of things.
that
Could
checks
be.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just my guess.
I'm curious to see what that FAQ is.
Yeah, me too.
And then we got the Verminous artifacts, which some of my favorites are here.
All right, let's go.
Shield of Distraction. The bear can not be picked as the target of a combat attack by more than one unit per phase.
Oh, this one.
Suck
I
it,
remember
Nighthawk.
this one.
Yep.
Yep.
Nighthawk have something similar, but like that's really good against them.
Yep.
But I think there's a lot of times where like that's a strong defensive buff.
Oh no, I think that's amazing.
And like a Nighthawk, it doesn't super matter that much because you're putting it on a guy with 6 wounds. Like you could put
Right.
this guy on a guy with 14 wounds.
Yeah.
Or 13 wounds
No,
rather.
that seems so good. You just fucking charge the middle of their fucking ranks and just go, hey,
Yeah.
yes, you can attack me, but just you.
Yeah.
And all the rest of you are just gonna be stuck in combat doing nothing.
And like I'm not even sure if that's the best one, but I think it's really good.
Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it yet because I don't
Oh,
have
you should. I want to know how that one
This
goes.
is why
that
I'm
one
like I want
is like by far my favorite.
Yeah, this is like I want a Vermin Lord or Warbringer for this, right?
Yeah.
This is why
well,
I
I
have
don't
all
know
of
what the
them
Warbringer
now.
does, but I'll believe you.
Yep. This is another one I really want to try. Oh no, not quite yet. But this one is add 1 to save rolls. Is the Rust Cursed Armor. Add 1 to save rolls for the bearer. In addition, at the start of the combat phase, you can pick one enemy hero that has an artifact of power and roll 2d6. If it's greater than the hero's bravery, you steal their artifact.
Oh, I don't
remove
like
it.
that one.
Yeah. That,
Wait, you get rid of it? You don't gain the effective?
you just get rid of it, yeah.
Okay. When you said steal, I'm like, oh, that has wild implications.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one I would hate, except for the fact that it's tied to +1 to save, which is good.
Yes. It is almost like more incidental.
Yeah.
And artifacts of power you can kind of live without too.
Yeah.
Like armies are like totally built around some, but like even if you lose like some of the best artifacts, like you're not like dead in the water.
And I gotta say, I brought Soulbound Garments and Soulblight Gravelords all the time, and that was just +1 save.
Right.
Yeah, and like I put it on the Vangorian Lord, and like I bullied your Chimera the whole game.
Oh my god, did you ever?
Yeah.
Well, no, you didn't bully it the whole game because it died immediately.
I bullied your whole army, is what I guess.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you just couldn't get through his armor, and like.
No, I couldn't. And then I think I did some damage, and you're like, it's healed.
Yep.
And I'm like, I give up.
Fun.
Yep.
Oh well, sorry about that. But anyway, like that's.
Oh no, I don't care.
Yeah, that's a really good. Like +1 save is strong. And then like that little extra effect is just like flavor, I guess. That's gonna matter sometimes.
But yeah, they made it good anyway.
Yeah, so like.
Yeah. So an incidental thing that I don't think. Well, sometimes it's gonna have a huge impact on the game.
Yeah.
But like probably not as often as.
Mm-hmm.
Like rolling 2d6 and beating someone's bravery is actually really hard to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Especially for heroes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just +1 save is good enough.
Yep, +1 save is good enough.
Yeah.
And there's an additional ability that'll occasionally be it basically reads +1 save.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one is my favorite here. Is Warpstone Charge. Enemy units within 3 inches of the bearer have -1 save. On one at the start of your hero phase, on a 1, this guy takes D3 mortal wounds.
So he just gives a bubble of -1 save.
Yep.
That's really good.
So we call this one Vermin Lord Warseer or Warbringer in the front, Purple Sun in the back. And now your thing is -2 save. Yeah.
Oh man. So is that? I assume you ran that one.
I don't have them yet.
Oh, you don't have them yet. Right. You don't have. Okay. Never mind.
But yeah, like all three
I don't know.
of these are good.
Well, okay. So here's what you do. You have the one. So you get an extra artifact, right?
Sure. Yep.
You run 2 of those Warbringers.
Yep.
Okay. And then you give one of them the extra rending one, I guess I'll call it.
Yeah, the warp
And you give
stone
one the then you give the other one the one that means only one thing can fight him.
Yeah.
You fucking just send that boy forward, get everyone locked up, and then come in with the purple sun and the other guy in like the next turn and just tear everything apart.
Yeah.
When everyone's already stuck because you got them stuck in.
Mm-hmm.
That seems pretty decent.
Yeah. Yeah, and like too bad the Warbringers don't count as the Verminous keyword for that heroic action for the extra command ability.
Yeah.
But like I think that'd probably be too much if they did.
Probably.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like there's obvious power in these artifacts.
Yeah, I think those are
Like the
very good.
Verminous ones are my favorite ones. And I'm not sure it's close even.
I really like the one where only one guy can fight. I don't know. That one
It's a cool
that one
rule.
tickles my
Yeah.
fancy. That's like a oh you're gonna have to deploy real fucking funny to have me not get value out of this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the thing that kind of takes away from that, like a little bit, is that Storm Vermin bodyguard him on a 2-up. But you can just have him as an independent actor. And if you do your list with 2, like you're saying, you just bodyguard the one that doesn't have it.
Wait, but why can't you just do both?
If you want to spread out for whatever objective reason there may be.
No, I mean like. So what I heard there is so Storm Vermin you can make bodyguard for him, right?
Yeah. Oh, so just make him unkillable, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like you send him forward, and then like, how are you doing any damage to him?
Yeah, that's true.
That's my thought.
Yeah. I guess you kill the Storm Vermin.
Yeah, but I mean that's all you're doing.
Yeah. Like it's
The
obviously
Storm Vermin
very
are the
powerful.
big ones, though, right? Or the
No.
Storm no. The Storm Vermin aren't the big ones. Yeah,
No, they're the
heck yeah. You run a unit of 10 of them or whatever. Put them behind this guy.
Yeah.
Have him charge in.
You can run up to 30 if you're ambitious.
Yeah, I was thinking 10 just because it's like not really like bogging your army down at that point.
Yeah.
Points wise.
But like if you like them as a unit, like it's a perfectly valuable thing.
You could too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my thought is like you kind of if you're charging multiple things with this guy, is it with I assume the Storm Vermin would have to be within 3 inches to bodyguard.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to make it so that the enemy units that aren't going to get attacks can't just pile into those Storm Vermin, or else you lose the value.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking. Like a small like a unit of 10 that can kind of like creep along behind him, and then he charges in and like kind of stays on the edge of like 3 guys pulling them into combat or something, but like not so much that they'll engage the Storm Vermin too.
Sure, that sounds
There's like some weird like there's some weird something there.
Yeah. Like it's obviously very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey there, Benny. I'm a little late to the party on that one. Sorry.
How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Talk about. I think I updated it now, but we're talking about Skaven, not Sylvaneth.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going through the artifacts right now. We're about to get to the War Scrolls. We just finished the Verminous one. They're pretty powerful.
Yeah, there's fun things there.
Yeah.
I think.
Warpstone Charge is my favorite because I think you can just delete the thing you're fighting with it. Like, but they're all good.
Yeah,
they're all so
like
good.
I want that one to be good, but the other one might just be better.
Yeah,
I think they're different roles, right? That's the real thing. Yeah,
and like there's just so much you can do. It's so good. All right.
And I think it all depends on like how the lists actually shake out too, like which one you want to do more based on like
context, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
You're right.
Like we can talk about things in like a vacuum
face,
of like but like it's all about context too, and like what turns out to actually be better.
I guess like my point about the whole thing is like this is so good. I'm like, yes, it is. Absolutely. It's so good. This is also good though too.
Oh no, it is. Yeah. No, I'm not debating you on that one at all.
No, it's just it's exciting. That's all.
Yeah. I just like the one, so I'm talking about it more.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's cooler, I think.
Yeah.
Because the other one is just like -1 save. Like it's.
Yeah, it's a normal effect. Yeah. It's actually like one of the effects that I self-proclaim to like better. Yeah. Except for whatever reason, this other one tickled my fancy.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's allowed, right?
Yeah, Absolutely. I can go against what I said earlier in the show
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
I'm people. I get to
exactly.
have fun.
Yep.
Yeah. So, we'll talk about the Scryer ones. Esoteric Warp Resonator. So this basically, once per turn, lets you... Is it once per turn or once per battle round? Start of each battle round, you receive one extra Warpstone Spark from the bearer if you don't use it at the end of the turn. Yeah, if you don't use it at the end of the battle round, it goes away and you take some damage.
Oh, okay. So
Oh,
it's
you don't take
so.
damage, you just lose it. Yeah. So
Oh,
you just get a free one every turn that you have to use.
oh, no problem.
Yeah. Okay, I'll use it, fine.
Wait, does that give you? Wait, does that just? That's the Warpstone tokens you're saying, right?
Yep. So you
It
get
just
more than
gives you
just
one
+2.
every.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's great.
Yep, it's great.
That's actually just better than the command trait,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
In every way. Oh, but it takes a
Unless you
different
want to
slot.
really
So
front load it for some reason, which I don't see right now,
right,
but maybe you do.
maybe you do,
Yeah.
but it's a different slot. So like you can
Yeah.
use either or depending on what you else you want to do. Like
Mhm.
maybe you want to do for whatever reason you want to do that with some shooting with the Vermin Lord and the crazy. Oh yeah, here's what you do. You go in, you lock them all in combat, and then you shoot the crap out of them.
Yeah.
There you go. All right,
Perfect.
there's something. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe that doesn't make sense. I don't know.
It's a good one
Anyway,
though. Like, of course, like resources are valuable. This gives you more resources. Yes, please.
yeah, and I mean, assuming those resources can do something that helps you win the game.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, there you go.
Basic math.
Yep.
All right, what's next? Vial of the Fulminator. So, you could pick one war machine within 6 inches and double the move characteristic. And at the end of the phase, roll a dice on a 1. That unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. So, war machines, most of the time... The one that this is for is for the Doom Wheel, which has like a random move characteristic of, I think, 4d6.
Or
And
D6.
this lets you
What?
double it. And if you move over enemy units, you do mortal wounds to them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just the Lalte random fun stuff. that
Yeah,
like,
right, right.
yeah,
Wasn't Doom Wheel like when it first came out in the old edition like way too good? Was that? Am I remembering that right?
I remember Hell Pit Abomination was absurd. Doom Wheel might have
Oh
been
no,
too
you
good too.
you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of the old Path to Glory tables where they
Oh
like randomly
yeah.
where they randomly put that into like a table that made absolutely no sense for it to be there.
Yep, I remember that now.
Yep. Okay, that's why I'm remembering Doom Wheel. Because it was like, oh yeah, well why wouldn't you take the Doom Wheel over like 10 Storm Vermin or something like that?
Yep, that's
And
right.
it was something that made no sense. I don't know if that what
Mm-hmm.
I said made sense, but
I understand now. Yep.
yeah.
But yeah, so the thing about this guy is that the Doom Wheel is hilarious and it's fun, and it makes a good game every time, even when it blows up wildly in your face. We'll talk
Yeah.
about it there, but like, if you want to run the Doom Wheel, you have a good command trait to do so, or artifact to
It's
do
an
so. Rather.
artifact. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Okay,
Yep.
I like it.
Sure.
And then the last one, this one tickles my fancy. So it's the
All right.
Brass Orb. It's a once per game on a 3-up. You pick an enemy. So in your hero phase, this is all important. Hero phase, 6 inches, enemy unit. On a 3-up, you pull them off the table. And during their next turn, they have to deploy it in their deployment zone.
You can just be like, no, get out of here.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So this used to be on a 6, you automatically destroy the model. But now you just like tell a unit to piss off for a turn.
Kind of neat.
I really like that design space. And I think the
Yeah.
obvious idea that people have, that I don't know how easy it is to pull this one off, is if you completely zone them out, because they have to be outside of 9 of enemies too. So
Oh.
you can completely zone them out, allegedly, of their zone. So they can't put it back and then it dies.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And then, so, an FAQ we need too is how does this work with Marathi, right? Big Marathi comes down, you brass orb her off the table, you shoot at little Marathi. There's no more big Marathi to allocate mortal wounds off to.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
What? I have
Right?
no idea.
Isn't that hilarious though?
Because Little Morathi doesn't have a wounds profile, does she?
She has 6 wounds.
Oh.
She counts as
So do
6.
you...
So
So
the
I guess
reading.
you just allocate them to her,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, you just kill her.
But could she only take 3 a turn?
No, so how it's written is she passes all of the wounds that she takes off to big one, and
Okay.
then the big one negates them down to 3.
Right.
Big one's no longer
Okay,
on the
yeah.
table.
So you just do damage to her.
You just kill her, right?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
almost
if you
certain.
can.
Yeah,
But then if you can't, if you do 5 damage to her,
you did
then
nothing.
it's actually completely worthless.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, but that's weird. Oh, I kind of like it.
Yeah,
All right.
right. I think it's really
Yeah.
cool. And then I think there's
I
also the
mean,
use case too of like you're fighting like Maggotkin, and then like the unit of Blight Kings like took their turn and a half to get to you, and then you just launch them
oh,
out of the game.
that's absolutely like the like real play. I think with her,
Yeah,
with that, not with her, with that.
that relic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or like if I did that to Chaos Warriors, you'd be like, oh man.
Oh yeah, no, that would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really, there's a lot of good targets for that.
Yeah, this
Like you've
is
got
so
like
cool, right?
yeah, like you've got a Gargant just like holding a point. It's like, now get
Yeah.
out of here.
And also it's at the start of the hero phase too, so you can't like teleport the guy in with the spell and then throw it. Thankfully, I think.
Yeah, that's probably
That'd
good.
be way too good if you could just like teleport a guy in.
Yeah.
So like I think it's pretty defensive even. It's like something's coming like to your front lines careening and you're like, oh well, God, what do I do? Like I got just the thing. And then you throw this at them and then they disappear.
I
That's
mean,
the play
honestly, it's
pattern I
also
see,
like,
right?
I mean, you can actually use it even if you're in.
You hope for the double turn, right?
Well, not only that, but you can set up like really good like combat opportunities and stuff too. I
Mm-hmm.
think.
Yeah.
But you have to be within 6. You kind of already have to be there. Might be difficult to set up, but I
I
think you could.
I think it's a little hard to set up,
Yeah.
but I think there's obvious value with this.
Yeah.
I can't wait to try. I haven't tried this yet, but
That one could be fun.
maybe the next one. See what I
The
mean
sad
though?
part
Like how
is
cool these
it does have to
artifacts
be on a
are.
3-up though.
Yeah, that's true.
So like you can't really rely on it either.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful.
Yep. Which is why I don't like
So
setting up, like hoping for the double turn to try to use it aggressively. That's why I like it as a defensive little maneuver.
yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely
But
better
it
than.
could just be oops, I rolled the 1, this did nothing. Try again next game.
Oh yeah, of
Which
course.
and you know that the first time you try that, that's what's going to happen.
Yep, and I'm gonna cry and scream and shit my pants and. Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, once again,
I
like
see your
it would have
point.
been way better if you just like
Worked.
guaranteed kicked it, but like I
I
don't
get
know.
why they don't want to do
Even
that
down
on
to
this.
like, yeah, but I mean, like, then why do you have the ability,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're not willing to make it happen, like,
Why do we
why
have
even
it?
have it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see how this pans out. I think the only problem with this is like it's in contention with so many good things that we've talked about already.
Yeah,
Yep.
agree.
And it's already 9 and we're not even through fucking relics.
That's
Alright, we'll
why we
hurry
tried
up.
to start earlier.
Yep, okay. Alright, Blade of Corruption is obviously you put it on the corruptor. It's 6s to wound, or rend 3 and 6 damage.
Oh, um, that sounds insane.
2d6 attacks that bracket heavily.
Yeah, but 6s. You said 6s to hit are
6s to wound.
are oh 6s to wound. Okay, 6s to wound is not as good.
It's not as scary, but still pretty bad.
Yeah, flat 6 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, what does it normally do?
2.
That's 3 times the damage.
Yep.
But 3 times the
good.
damage 1/6 of the time.
Yes.
Still 6 damage. And Ren 3.
Yep. Rend 2 normally. There's power there.
That's spicy.
Yeah.
2d6. Oh man. Like against a lot of things, I feel like you're just gonna delete it with that.
Yep.
Like, it sounds like it does a fair bit of damage anyway, and with this, it just is going to be like, oops, delete.
Yeah, so, like, it's on average at full bracket 7 attacks, right?
Yeah.
So, you're gonna get this a little less than 1 time per attack on average.
Yeah, but yes. So, well,
Mm-hmm.
7? Oh, yeah, 7, then you gotta roll the hit. What's their hit roll? 3?
3.
That's
They can make
awesome.
it
Yeah.
2s and 2s pretty easy. So,
Okay, so if it's 2s and 2s, you'll probably get it approximately once.
yeah.
And so, like, let's say you're doing. If it's 2s and 2s, you're gonna hit. You'll hit 6 times, you wound 5 times. That is normally 10 damage, and instead it's 14 damage.
Like, it's obviously good.
That's a decent damage
Yeah.
increase, honestly.
And, like, you can spike it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can absolutely spike that and
Yeah.
just be like, oops.
And perhaps
Must suck.
this man is your devious adversary, General. With the +2 attacks.
Oh hey,
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Perhaps you gave
That's
him
a thing.
Skaven Brew, too, for the additional 1. Perhaps you gave him the Pestilence Prayer to give him +1 attack.
I see where you're going with this.
Yep. Like, it's obvious.
I don't know. That sounds like a lot of damage and something you can really build around too.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. I used it. It's fun.
Yeah,
I got it to work 1 time.
only once.
Yeah.
Did it absolutely delete something?
Yeah. That's when I did 27 damage to the... Or 24 damage to the Sisters of Slaughter's unit.
Oh yeah,
That was
there you
part
go.
of it, yeah.
Yeah, you
It wasn't in
absolutely deleted
combat, because it was also in spells, too, but...
it. Sure,
Yeah, it's...
but
Yeah.
still, yeah.
I almost killed a 400-point unit. Like, nothing to scoff at.
This sounds like a real winner. I don't know.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it.
like you can. Yeah, it's spiky, but you're reliably like by the sound of the number of attacks, you're probably gonna get 1 or 2
Yeah.
and just like crush something.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's real good. The Fumigatus, basically it's in the combat phase, you pick an enemy unit every turn. 1 to 2, nothing happens. 3 to 4, D3 mortal wounds, and 5 to 6, D6 mortal wounds. Alright, it's whatever. It's
Wait,
cute.
I mean that sounded good, but I missed the beginning of it. Obviously,
It's basically at the beginning of combat you roll a dice. On a 1 to
every
2
combat,
every combat.
and on a 1 to 2 nothing.
Yep.
3 to 5 D3, 6
3 to 4
D6.
D3, 5 to 6 D6. It's pretty good.
You pick a.
Yeah.
I think that is pretty good.
I've ran it to luck with some luck. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty
think-
good.
that sounds like it might be better than
The first
than
one.
14 extra damage a turn. No, I'm going back to the thing that Herb was being silly.
Oh, the catapult stuff.
To the thing that gives the +1 damage
Oh,
the-
okay.
to the shooting guy.
Yep.
That
Yep.
has 1 attack.
Yep. It sounds better than that. I don't know, but you don't have to choose because they're different slots.
It's true. Oh,
Yeah.
you could do both.
Finger
I
guns.
don't know if it's ever relevant, but
Yeah.
you know.
I don't know. Like, this seems fine.
Yeah.
This seems like if you're like, oh, I don't know what to take. I guess I'll take this, and you'll be pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
And then the last one. This one's actually really interesting, but I don't know how I feel about it. It's Blistervis, the Living Cyst. And it's...
That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, it's awful. So, the bearer has strike first. However, at the beginning... Yeah, starting from the second battle round on at the start of the hero phase, you have to transfer this artifact to another clan's Pestilent hero on the battlefield, if it's possible to do so, even if they already have an artifact of power.
Oh, so you just take it as the one, right?
So
you take 1 clan pestilence hero and give him this type of thing, maybe.
interesting. Yeah. Well, my thought was like you take the Plague Furnace and the Vermin Lord Corruptor, and you just alternate, and you fight
That sounds
first
pretty
with
good,
one
too.
of them, and then you just choose the other one to fight.
Oh man! So you do the Vermin Lord Corruptor with the other relic, and then it gets this relic too,
Yeah.
and then you fight first and do and you spike real hard and you just crush them with 30 damage or something.
Yeah.
That's not an unreasonable thing that could happen.
No. It's
Oh
interesting,
man.
right? Like, it's a
Man,
real
I
thought.
thought I was gonna pick one build to build here, and suddenly I'm coming up with all these different builds
This is
that
like
I'd want to
the
try.
most open-ended book we've seen so far. Like so
It's
much.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you're like, wow. Wow,
I
I
could
could do
see
so
so many
much.
combinations with all these things. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
Overall, so that's the artifacts. We have a lot of good choices here. We're
Yeah.
spoiled for choices, and this is why, at the beginning, I said you're often taking at least one command entourage, probably two.
Because you want to do all of these different things.
Yeah, and by two I mean a command entourage and a warlord. You're getting magnificence twice because you want these.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep.
because you want all of these. Yeah.
And there's times where I've even in the pestilence build, one of the command entourage magnificence is extra prayers.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Because I just want all the prayer options in the world, but this is the power of the army here is the artifacts, I think. In the Master Clan.
Some of these seem really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that makes the Vermin Lords extreme build arounds, I think, too.
Right.
And that's even, I think, good. It's fantastic.
There's multiple builds I want to try with Vermin Lords here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, every single one of them is awesome.
Yep.
That's why I want them all.
I don't disagree with you.
Yep. All right.
So is there a Vermin Lord for each clan?
Kind of. There's no Scryer one, there's no Molder one.
Oh, okay.
And then there's one that's every clan.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So there's an Eshin, there's a
Eshin, Master Clan,
and
Verminous,
Pestilence.
and Pestilence. Yep.
Oh, Verminous and Pestilence. So is there 5 of them?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's
That's
5.
a lot.
Yep. Technically, there's 6 because there's a Forge World one, but we're not talking about him.
Yeah, we don't talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next page. Spell lores. Okay. So, we'll rifle through these quickly because I don't think we need to spend a ton of time. Yeah, we lost 3 spells in our lore. Yeah. So we only have 1 terrible one, 1 good one, and 1 amazing one. The terrible one is you roll a dice equal to the casting value, and each 6 is a mortal wound. The good one is you give something fight when it dies.
So bad.
Right? Worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good one is Death Frenzy. So when you pick a unit with this, when it dies, it fights on death. Really good. And then Skitter Leap is the great one, which you can teleport another hero with 13 or less wounds outside of 9 of enemies.
And let me guess, Vermin Lords have 14?
No, Vermin Lords are legal targets for this.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay. Hello.
Yep. Or even you want to curse something, you just Skitter Leap your priest and then you curse the thing. You just put them in range for all of those kind of effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Wow.
I don't know how you look at Scorch and Skitter Leap and think they're even remotely close.
Yeah. I'll agree.
Yep. Oh well. Maybe next time.
Huh.
And then the Warp Volt Galvanism lore is the most phoned in thing I've seen. So we have more warp power, which is +1 to hit and wound to a unit, which is the only one you ever take, and that's the only spell you really cast. The other one is you do one mortal. Yeah, you do a mortal wound to everything within 13 inches of you, including allies, including friendlies, right? So
no,
you cast this thing, you hit all of your units with a 1 mortal wound, and then you force battle shock on all of them.
Why would I do that?
Yeah. Why is this a spell?
I mean, it sounds like you what do you teleport him in and then blast everybody around him and then die immediately?
Yeah,
or...
I'm glad you did 1 mortal wound to everybody. And we're Slaanesh would love this, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Imagine if this was on a war scroll on a guy who did that and he was wacky, and then he was just a cool Slaanesh ally. But you can't even ally with Slaanesh. But just this does not belong here in the slightest.
Yeah, it's pretty garbage.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then the last one is you prevent the first 3 wounds that are dealt to this hero. And once he takes the 4th one, he takes 3 mortal wounds.
Does that do anything?
It does anything if they hit him with some chip damage.
Now, does that last over turns?
It lasts till your next hero phase.
Okay, so then it wears off, and then
Yeah.
it wouldn't. And then if it absorbed damage, then the damage would be gone.
Yep.
Okay, all right. I was thinking it was just like it just absorbed 3 damage, and then
Yeah.
you take the 4th, and it just dealt it, and that was like for the whole game, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, that literally does nothing. Okay, it at least does something. But
It's a cool idea, but when you think about it practically, you're like, what? What is it? It doesn't. I don't care.
it seems really hard to use.
Yeah, for like
Like, and
-3
the amount of times
damage.
it's going to be like useful is like very low.
Yeah, the only time I could see this being useful is if you're fighting like a Technado kind of spell
Yeah,
that hits
exactly.
everything for D3 and they don't want to target him and you just want to make sure he's alive. But like
Yeah.
you're not casting that with your one spell. Because what's the point of
No.
keeping your wizard alive when he's not casting his spell?
Oh, is it self only?
Yeah.
Oh, what? I thought you could at least put it on somebody.
No.
Oh.
See what I mean?
What's the-
Like this is a phoned in lore.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could have done better.
Yeah.
All right. And then the prayers. One of them, so they're all 13-inch range. None of them are holy, even the ones that target your friendlies. Weirdly enough. So Disease is a 5-up horde thinner, basically. Not bad. I like that one enough. And then you have Filth, which is add 1 to wound rolls. Which is cool on your like bigger heroes, I think. Or anything, really. And then you have Rabid, which is +1 attack.
Well, that seems good.
All of these are good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But like they're not like that much to talk about.
Right.
They're like, yes, they buff your guys. Buffs are good. Put buffs on your guys.
But I mean, those are the kinds that I do like those abilities though, because they're just nice and simple.
Yeah.
I
No, this is
them
great.
and,
No.
Yeah.
Like this is exactly what this army needs.
Right.
Like for like the Pestilence at least. It's just like they're here to hit hard when they charge. And here are the things that make them hit harder.
Yeah. Basically.
Some mortal wound damage. It's great. Like they're simple. And there's like also like there's a debate going on too. Like, do I want the extra attack or do I want the extra wound? And it depends on the unit, right? Or the situation. There's thought there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're limited to like. Well, can you put it on you? Can you put it on anybody, or can you only put it on Clan Pestilence? That's because that's the one we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it is only Clan Pestilence units then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's a much smaller subset of units that you kind of have to think about there.
Sure, but like there's still like interesting choices there.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's just not overwhelming. Yeah,
which is good.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, like that's all you needed to do. We don't need this like complicated. Maybe it works, and then it blocks 3 stuff, and then if you take the 4th, oh, you take damage. Oh no.
Yeah, you could have just made it like block the first 2 and then just words end.
Yep. We have match play, battle tactics. I don't care. Thankful. We're in War Scrolls now. All right, we'll get through this. This might be a little late one too, but you already ate, so we're good. I've ate.
Yep.
Cool.
We're good to go.
All right. I won't linger.
If you heard a sigh in the background, that was the that was my baseball team not doing so hot.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
Damn. Sorry to hear that, bud.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll live.
Yep. We'll find a way. Let's see. So, Thankful on a Bone Ripper. Not and Bone Ripper, which I think is funny. But
on a Bone Ripper?
Yep.
Oh, because there's so many other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he got way better. So he's base +3 to cast.
Wasn't he already good?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking.
I'm just gonna paraphrase a lot of these, but like he has
of course.
You can either have like some really good melee attacks or like the 4-up horde clear, and you can mix and match it. And against Beast, I brought 4 flamethrowers and rolled 4 dice for each model, and each 4-up was a mortal wound.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so like that's still a thing, but like he's got like Ren 2 damage, 3 attacks, which could be Ren 3 because like you have that artifact with Verminous, and it could be Ren 4 because +4 to cast, +3, and then +1 for being next to a Null. Helps you get the purple sun out really easy, especially when one of your rules lets you roll 3 dice and discard the lowest.
Oh yeah, that's real easy.
Yep.
Yep.
Power behind the throne changed. So basically, once per battle round, he can issue the same command ability twice.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
He has a 5-up ward. He heals D3 at the end of each combat phase.
Wow.
Yeah, home run after home run after home run.
Yeah, every one of those things was good. How many points?
He's 415, but he's actually 445 because you bring the boat with him to increase his move by 18. Because he can fit on the boat.
But I mean, that just gives him like a ridiculous extra buff, so
yeah,
like probably worth it.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like if you bring Thankful, like there's very very little reason not to bring that. I think.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right, and then you want to hear what his unique spell does?
Oh, he's got more.
Yep.
Okay.
So, you pick an enemy hero within 3 inches, casting value 8. And then you roll a number of dice equal to that hero's attack or total attack characteristics.
Total attack characteristics.
And then each 4-up
just add everything up.
Yeah. And then each 4-up is a mortal wound to a separate enemy unit within 3 inches of that hero that you targeted.
So he pinatas him and has him just smash everybody else?
So basically, the idea is like he's making the enemy hero fight his own unit.
Yeah.
But they're like circumventing it by just like doing a handful of mortal wounds. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant by like pinata him.
I see. Yeah.
Like, yeah. Just like pull him up by the strings and just like, aha, you're gonna hit your guys.
Yeah.
I could just see him like tackling, just like
a marionette,
pulling invisible strings in the air as the other guy just goes crazy. I'll have you know I was making the hand motions, but no one can see it.
I appreciate it. All the same. But I don't know, man. Like, how many hoops do we have to jump through? Like 3. Like you have to be like within 3 inches of a hero and another unit. Like
Yeah. Well, no. Well, I mean, you just charge 2 guys, right?
Yeah, you just charge 2 guys.
Wait.
And one of them has to be a hero, and the other one has to not be a hero.
No, we're jumping through a lot of hoops.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody's ever casted this spell in the world.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so I was just thinking, it's like, well, but like sometimes, like a lot of times you bring like a necromancer with your unit, but then you have to look at the attack characteristic of the necromancer and go, this is worthless.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you on a casting value 8, you do probably 2 or 1 mortal wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's nothing here.
Worthless.
Well, okay. Yeah. And how close do you have to be? Do you have to be within 3?
Yeah.
So you already have to be in combat and have not killed them last turn?
Yeah.
With all of your ridiculous stuff?
Yeah.
This is getting harder and harder to figure out when I'm ever going to cast this spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, the way the book is written right now, it says Grayseer, not like the keyword, the unit can take spells from the Lore of Ruin. So technically he can't take spells now, but he always could, so that's probably going to get FAQ'd. To the point where I'd probably just play him. I don't know why he's not Lore Master, to be honest. Lore Master doesn't seem that dangerous on something that's only 3 spells.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but he's already super good for 4-4.
Right.
For 4-15. But, so you're probably just casting Mystic Shield in like...
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, worst case, you just cast Mystic Shield and it seems fine.
In an endless spell, yeah.
Yeah, like, okay. It still seems good.
He's good. That spell sucks, though. But who cares?
Yeah, at first I loved the thought of it, but then,
it's
like, as we were jumping through...
Yeah.
As we were jumping through hoops, like, maybe there'll be one time where it's relevant, and, like, you gotta keep your eye out for it, because I want you to cackle like, a madman and pulling invisible strings in the air as you roll that spell.
Yeah, of
I want
course.
it to happen once, Alex. Make sure it happens once. Okay?
I'll do my best,
For me.
but this and
For me.
the spell is going out of its way to make sure I can't.
It is. But you gotta look carefully for those
Yeah.
times where it might be relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Like you charge an Achillean King and some thralls or something.
Yeah.
And then you
And then my
don't
next turn.
annihilate the thralls instantly.
Yeah, and then I have to get a
Yeah.
double turn.
You do. Yes.
Yes.
There's so much that makes that so difficult
Yep.
to do. It's so sad.
And then somebody says, "Bring the mirror, man." All right, cool. I'm gonna bring 80 points to do a spell that probably does like 4 mortal wounds.
Oh, if you hit the right thing, actually,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's a
'Cause
hard
if there's like
maybe.
something, that's a hard maybe. Is there anything? We didn't really talk about anything else that would be good through a mirror, did we?
No, that might be the thing that's okay in a mirror.
Yeah. So you're probably not doing that.
No.
All right, fair enough.
Overall,
All right,
though,
we probably spent way too long on that spell.
yeah, I agree. Because I say I don't like this spell, and you're like, hold on.
I do that.
You
I
do
know.
that. I get it, but it's
Yeah.
smart. So the guy I'm painting now, Screech Vermin King.
Okay.
So he's got every Vermin Lord, their attack with their stick got an additional run and additional damage, and he got 2 more attacks at 2 damage instead of. So he has a total of 18 attacks at 2 damage. By 18, I mean 14. That's how math works. Okay. Every Vermin Lord has a 5-up ward. They cast 2 spells. And so he has a special thing where he can pick an aspect each turn, and he can only pick each aspect once per game. So, one is +1 to cast, one is heal D3 wounds, one is 6s to hit, cause mortal wounds in addition. One is subtract 1 from hit rolls, one is his glaive gets -3 rend, 3 damage, and then one is +1 to wounds. So they're all good.
Seems like a lot to keep track of.
Yeah. It's a lot.
But they're probably all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are just like more damage, and you're like, okay, I go with more damage. This seems fun now. It could have been cleaner, but like what I'm saying, like this wasn't a cleaned up book. So
Right, it definitely wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, there doesn't appear to be much clean about this book.
That's true. Exactly my point at the beginning.
Yeah.
Where's my gold?
I am definitely agreeing with you.
Yeah. And then his spell. Okay, so he has a command ability first, which is you give a Skaven unit +1 to hit and wound this phase. And all Vermin Lords have that. They're normally locked to their clan, but he can do it to everybody.
Okay. So is he the Vermin Lord that's for everybody? Is that the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's the Vermin Lord. Oh, that's even the wrong color paint. I wanted brass.
Oopsie.
Yep. Yeah, and then his spell basically is casting value 8, roll 13 dice, and each 4-up is a mortal wound. And then for each damage done, you make a unit of clan rats. Or a clan rat unit with that many models, outside of 9 of enemies, wholly within 9 of him.
Alright, I'm gonna need you to repeat that one more time. I'm gonna apologize.
Yep, that's fine. 13. So, casting value 8, roll 13 dice.
Okay.
Each 4-up is a mortal wound. So,
okay.
Let's say you did 7 damage with that, right?
What's the range on it again?
13.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yep. So, you did 7 damage. You created a unit of clan rats with 7 models.
I love that ability. That's so cool.
Yep. And, like, bodies are important. Bodies are good.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's 425 points.
Okay.
I think, like, as far as, like, strictly competitive goes, I think Old Man Thankwell brings a lot more to the table.
Probably.
Than this guy. This guy's fun, though. And I think that ability is to, like, make more guys might be better than we think. And, like, you know how I love to play with chaff, right?
Yeah. Like, you get, like, a random screening unit just, like, out of nowhere?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I mean, you probably want to charge with this guy anyway. But you could like set it up in a way that like it protects like other wizards or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you do want to charge with him, but you know what you do? You put him to the side of him, and then like you
Yeah.
protect him from a counter charge, because now they have
Yeah.
to charge
Yeah.
his screen. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That does seem really good.
My honest assessment is I think he's fantastic. I just think
Mhm.
he's the worst Vermin Lord because he can't take command traits and
That's fair.
artifacts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like universal spell lores.
But you'll probably still try him.
Yeah, I'm painting him right now. Like I think he's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Like I think like he like when I say great, I mean he's actually like better than a lot of heroes and a lot of armies. It's just the other ones like have a lot going for them.
Right.
And like 14 attacks with 2 damage is nothing to really scoff at.
No.
Yeah. Too bad you can't like pick flaming weapon, then he would be insane. I just want to point out it's funny that he has 1 Plague Reaper and he on average has more attacks with it than the Vermin Lord Corruptor who has 2.
One more time on that one?
Vermin Lord Corruptor has the same weapon that he does.
Oh,
And
okay.
the Vermin Lord Corruptor's dual wielding them and he has 1 and he has more attacks on average.
Huh, that's funny.
Yep. Anyway, good unit. I'm going to try him. I think the cat shaft thing is going to be pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Deceiver. So, instead of a staff, he has a stiletto, and that just means it wounds on a 2 instead of a 3, and it's rend 3 instead of 2. And then, basically, he has a throwing star that's d6 attacks. I don't know why it's just not a flat number, but I don't care. Whatever. And 6s to hit are mortal wounds on the Doom Star.
Well, I mean, the reason it's not a flat number of attacks is because it's Skaven. You have to roll for everything.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yep. But so he's got a pretty decent range attack. He's got a pretty decent melee attack. Everyone has a 5-up ward. He can't be shot, or he can't be picked as a target of a shooting attack, unless the thing is within 9 inches of him.
That's pretty solid. I thought you said it was 12 originally.
I think I did say it was 12, but yeah, I think now I'm reading it. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic though.
Yeah.
Like, sweet. That's even better.
His spell is a teleport 6 inches away. Dreaded Skitter Leap.
You teleport 6 inches? Is that what you said?
You teleport outside of 6 inches of enemies.
Oh, wow. Okay, way better than I was like, you teleport 6 inches. That sounds like a move, not a teleport.
Yeah, that's funny, but no. So
that's great then.
So you can put him like in like the back farthest corner of the map, and like they can't be shot, and then you can't like unbind his stuff.
Yeah.
And then he could just teleport with a 6-inch charge.
And then he's just like, hey, I'm here, boys, let's go.
Yeah. And then like you can do Skitter Leap from the lore to bring somebody else like near him. If you want to put like a curse or something on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like a unit that lets you deep strike. Like you can do so much movement tech with this thing.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, 405 points for. They all do about 40% more damage than they did in the previous book.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are a little lower. Warbringer's a lot bigger for reasons we'll get to. But again, all of these, like carrying Devious Adversary on a Rend 3 damage 2 attack is not bad. Right. But I like giving him fly so he can like retreat and then all out. I guess Finest Hour doesn't matter that much because he's wounding on 2s, but it does degrade, so maybe.
It does degrade, and you get the +1 save. And
yeah.
It's still something there.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah.
Love him.
Yeah.
Let's see. Corruptor. So he's got 2d6 attacks that degrade to 3d3, d6, d3. So he can bracket hard.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
Yeah. Hit runes of 6 are a mortal wound in addition to others. At the end of combat, roll a dice for each enemy unit in range on a 4-up does d3 mortal wounds. Adds 1... Oh, yeah. The other guy added 1 to hit and wound to Eshin. He adds 1 to hit and wound for Pestilence. And his spell is a 4-up Horde Clear. Or Horde Thinner.
Okay.
And he's the cheapest one at 360.
So I'm confused here. Does that say... Sorry, I've been thinking about nothing but this since you read it. Does that say it goes from 2d6 to 3d3?
Yes.
So the minimum goes up when he brackets once?
Yes.
That's so bizarre. Does the
Yep.
average go up?
No, because average is like 4.5
Average.
as opposed to 7.
Wait, you said it's 3D3, right? Or is it 2D3?
3D3.
3D3.
So each D3 is 1.5 times 3 is
Yeah.
4.5. As opposed to
No,
7 on
each no each
2D6.
D3. Oh no, no, each D3 would be 2 on
Oh, so
average,
6.
right?
You're right, yeah.
So 6. So it is a little lower
A little
by
lower.
one.
Yeah.
But like that doesn't bracket hard, and that's actually a very interesting way to bracket.
Yeah. I guess like if you get to like 9 wounds or 11 wounds, do you think D3 attacks is going to do anything for this guy? Is my problem. Is why I said he
Oh
does bracket
no,
hard. Yeah.
no. But I guess my thought is he's not seriously bracketing until he gets to 9 wounds allocated to him.
Yes.
Is my thought.
Yep.
Like because 2d6 and 3d3 are actually like I think the average is obviously very close.
Yeah. Which is why I think
If a little lower.
heal is good in this army because like if he's at 9 wounds, that sucks.
Oh,
And
that
then
sucks so bad.
yeah, healing him like 1 back up is huge.
Right. I agree.
Yep.
Oh, that's very interesting, actually. That's a weird way to do it.
Yeah.
I never would have thought to do it that way.
Yeah, I miss him just having flat 10, but he did get an extra rend in damage, so he does a lot
Yeah.
more damage. I know like when I did play him, I rolled 5 on his attacks, including the
Yeah.
devious adversary stuff.
Yeah.
So like that
That
kind of
sucks.
sucked, but yeah, and like that's just gonna happen.
But that's just because he wasn't bracketed, so he wasn't doing better.
Yeah.
Kind of better sometimes on that's a weird. That's oh man, this is still getting me real hard because it feels like he gets more consistent when he's at the second bracket.
I don't think
If a touch lower, I think it's a little more
it
consistent.
might be. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Maybe it
I
should
don't
have been 4d3 instead of 2d6, but
it doesn't matter. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I get stuck on random things.
it's okay. But
Anyway, that's not the important bit.
yeah, like he does a lot of mortal wounds, even if like the
Yeah.
attacks fail, because he's got like that bubble at the end and that spell. Like if hordes are a problem, that is an efficient horde clearer.
Oh my god, Gorgon's Big C Bestio? Hi, by the way. Also, yes, I play Gorgons, and oh my god, they bracket so hard,
I would
it's
say-
so sad.
Yeah, I would say that Bill, your first army's slaves, your second army's beast at this point.
It's pretty close, yeah.
and
Like maybe Korn is in there too.
yeah, my buddy
like,
plays
somewhere.
yeah
Yeah.
Gorgons too, and
Oh my god.
you do like 3 damage to them. Yeah,
Yeah, and then they're toast.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my god, forget about it.
my buddy Colin. Yep,
Yeah.
that's who it is.
Oh, that is him. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the name at first, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Overall, though, like playing one game with this guy, like I thought it would be the end of the world that his attacks were so random,
Mhm.
but then I realized he has damage so many other places.
So it just wasn't. It
It's
wasn't
not that
bad.
big of a deal, and if you devious adversary him, you don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's awesome.
Yeah.
I'd
And
put
there's
him-
like so many. And weren't we talking about giving him all kinds of like command traits and relics and stuff like
Yeah,
that
and you
as
can
well?
Skaven Broom for another attack. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I think he's good. You got to really build for him, and I think you really
Seems
need
like
like
it.
the priest to support him.
Mhm.
And then at that
But like,
point,
it
he's
sounds
like
like you want to do that anyway, right?
That's what I'm trying to say.
Like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you want the Priest army, if you want the Pestilence army, I think he's going to do work for you.
Yeah.
I don't think... Like, we're going to see with the Vermin Lord that you can just put him anywhere and he's cute and awesome. I don't think he's that, the Corruptor, but I think in the right list, he's priced to move. And I think he's going to do awesome things in this game.
That 6 damage is a real thing, boys and girls.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna make that happen, even somewhat consistently, you're gonna delete stuff.
Oh my god, yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah.
He's so cool! Alright.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Alright, the Warbringer. I mentioned this guy a lot. So, first of all, Devious Adversary with him. He has 2 attack characteristics. So he'll get 8 with his Doom with that, and then 4 with his 2s, Rend 2, 3 damage attack. Right off the bat. You can Skaven Brew him to get 3 to all of those now. So he just does a truckload of damage right off the bat, right?
Oh, it sure looks like it. Yeah.
Yep. And then if you have the armor for the additional rend, that spike fist is rend 3, the staff is rend 3. If you have your buddy with the purple sun throwing it there, all those are rend 4. This is
Or
the
if you
hammer
just
one. Yeah.
yeah.
If he's near 3 Skaven units, including himself, within 13 of 3 Skaven units, he rerolls wounds.
Oh wow.
He can give himself +1 to hit and wound. And his spell is Dreaded Death Frenzy, which picks D3 units to fight when they die. By the way, for Death Frenzy's any unit. He can pick himself.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like the obvious play.
Yep. Like,
You said D3 units he can pick?
yes.
Wow. He seems really good.
He seems really good.
Yeah.
He's pretty one-dimensional. But I don't know. Like, he's fun. Like, I think there's a place for him. There's a place for all of these.
Yeah.
His is the most obvious. And you just put Flaming Weapon on all of his attacks now.
Ha!
Yeah, the problem with running multiple Vermin Lords, Bill, when you asked at the beginning if it's good, is they don't have a spell lore to pick from. And they're all fighting
so you only
over
have
a single Flaming Weapon. And they're all fighting over the command traits, I think.
Okay.
Right?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, sure.
But, like, I don't know, because I feel like you could take, like, the Vermin Lord, Warbringer, and, like, Deceiver, for example, and the Deceiver is, like, a control, like, tech piece. And this is your hammer, and you can put all the crap on this guy. And then just appreciate that you could teleport your Warbringer within 6 inches with the Deceiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did the one you're painting now? Did he have a unique spell that's not on these guys? I can't remember.
Yes, it was the 13 damage, and then each damage makes a rat.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe you run him and one of these so that they're not competing over the same spells as much.
That could be true too. Yeah, they all have a unique spell.
Oh, okay. They do all have a unique spell. Okay.
Yeah. So bringing multiple.
Oh, but you said they're all fighting over the same flaming weapon.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah.
But he has a unique enough. He has a spell that I think is good enough that you want to use that one often.
They're 2-cast wizards, Bill.
Oh my god! Get out of here!
Mm-hmm.
They're 2-cast wizards.
All of them are 2-cast wizards.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We're not complaining.
Like
I mean, at that point, do you just like cast unique spell, Mystic Shield, unique spell, Flaming Weapon?
Yeah, exactly.
And like,
but which one wants the flaming weapon? This guy.
Well,
obviously.
Well, no, I was gonna. Maybe not. Like, I think it depends on which relic you take, right, or which artifact you take. Because like, if you take the one where you're just sticking him in and he can't get hit, you could take you could have him cast the Mystic Shield, and then he like really can't die, and it's just gonna be as sticky as you can imagine. I don't know.
Think
but maybe that's already enough defense that you don't need it. So then you just put on the extra damage and you just go ham, and they can't really hit you back as hard. And then you also have the bodyguard.
The reason why I say him is because he has 2 melee profiles. So all the things that give +1 to all melee profiles, he double taps from it, where the other guys don't.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, but Flaming Weapon doesn't double tap, right? Because you have to pick one.
Yeah, but I guess what my point is, though, is that you're picking...
But you're going to give him more attacks already, because that's what you want to do.
Yes.
So you might as well give him more damage, too.
Yeah.
For those multiple extra attacks. Yeah, I get you.
Okay.
Yep. We got there.
Yeah, but, like... I don't know. He's not an auto-take, but he's really good.
Yeah. He seems really fun.
I love every Vermin Lord. I love every Vermin Lord.
That's good.
There's nothing to it, like, other than that.
I mean, all this, like, everything that, like, I say, like, I don't like, I don't know if I could, like, point these guys if you told me I had to, but, like, they seem fun, and assuming that they're pointed somewhat appropriately.
They're pretty closely pointed.
Okay.
I would say, yeah. And then, like, the Pestilence one's the cheapest one, and it's random, so, like, that makes sense to me.
Sure, yeah.
And then, like, the expensive one is Scritch, Vermin King, because the named one's always more expensive, which I think is a huge mistake. But that's just their design philosophy.
I don't know if that's necessarily a mistake, because you, like, naturally, I think of, oh, it's the named character, it's the special one. I wouldn't think, oh, he is worse than one of the other ones. Because I mean,
Yeah.
less points implies you're worse, right?
It's just like it's such a hard ask a lot of the time when they can't take relics and command traits. And then they're
Oh,
also
sure.
more.
Well,
Yeah. I
I mean,
get why they do it, but I just think that like the name ones should be a little bit better than they are normally.
oh, okay. Yeah, no, I think the design philosophy of having them be more expensive is fine, but they have to be worth it.
Yeah, and they're never that. Well, there's definitely situations where the name one's better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's time.
I don't think it's I think Scritch is the worst one just because he's the name one.
Sure.
But like he's not that far behind.
But I mean, you also got to figure you can only bring so many. So if you did want to run two, like he might be a perfect second one.
He might be a perfect second one.
Yeah.
Or he might be the perfect guy to call out of the bell when you summon a free one.
Right. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a man who lives in
Exactly.
a bell.
He's a man that lives in a bell.
Yep.
That's funny.
And
But
then
yes, also probably accurate.
the last one is awesome too.
Okay.
Orcseer. So his special thing is bravery 10 for guys within 13.
Okay.
He counts as 2 Master Clan heroes for the purpose of 3 claw steps ahead battle trait.
Okay.
So you only need 2 wizards if you have him. And
That's pretty cool.
At first I was like, oh, that's not really much because I love having like the little footcasters. But then I like played it and it made the world of difference.
Because you could take like the one Claw Lord as well.
Yep. You can take the one Claw Lord, or you can just like Scryer is a pretty good splash too.
Okay.
Like it just lets you like this lets you pick like normally you have to like dedicate to 2 clans.
Yeah, exactly.
And like this lets you splash a third.
Right.
Like this guy lets you be a 3-color deck.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. Like and that's just awesome.
And that's cool.
Yeah. But like it doesn't seem that assuming at first, and then you play with it and you're like, oh, this is big.
Yeah, it's like,
Like,
oh, I
that's
get
amazing.
all of these extra abilities
Yep.
now that I didn't otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's
And
sweet.
like if your splash is Scryer, like you get all of those. It's so good. And then he's got a Scry Orb, which will give him +1 save. But once as long as he has it, but once per game you can break it and deal D6 mortal wounds to something within 13 in the shooting phase.
And it's not like roll a die on a 1-0.
Correct.
2 up, deal these. Hey, look, they did it.
Just works. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. And then his unique spell is what is it? Casting value 8, you pick something with an 18, D6 mortal wounds, and it can't fly until your next hero phase.
Okay.
Which is
D6 mortal wounds is a lot.
yeah, good range and it's a good effect. Like can't
Yeah.
fly, doesn't matter, or it wins you the game. It feels like.
I think flying is very good, but it's also situational.
Yeah, that can be definitely true.
Yeah.
There's situations where I've had where like fly would have made the world of difference.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not. It wouldn't.
Exactly.
But I feel like it is a little situational.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. But like it's good damage, and it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
a control
yeah.
effect. Yeah.
No. I'm not saying anything wrong with this
Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. This is great though.
Yeah.
I love him. Lovely, lovely.
Lovely, lovely.
This is a great Master of Magic general, by the way, because he's outcast 2. He's got a spell at 8, and he's gonna survive. This is like the one Vermin Lord you don't care to put the combat buff on. Because he's just got the stick.
Yeah. It's not. But that's not what he's for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like, you see what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, which Vermin Lord would be the most exciting for you in, like, the list you're building in your head?
Oh, man. I mean, I really like... I think the... What is it? Warbringer?
Yeah.
Because I just want to run that, like, oops, I stuck in there against, like, half your army.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do shit about it unless you retreat.
Yeah.
I just think that's so much fun. Because then they also can't... Because if they do retreat, then they can't, then they
Charge.
can't charge that turn, so then you can set up the charges instead, and all that shenanigans. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Like, I feel like we like talk about these, and then like every time we think of something new, we're like, oh yeah, that's awesome. And like
Yeah.
nothing's a detriment to these yet.
Yep.
And like the only problem is that if you bring a bunch of these, it's really hard to fill out your command entourage.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
And I guess like it sucks that they don't have a lore to pick from for their spells. But like levitate's
yeah, but it
fine.
sounds like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
It sounds like it's not much of a problem to just take flaming weapon and go ham on somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
In fact,
that's
you
how I
were
feel.
implying that like
Everybody wants
that's
it.
what you want to do anyway. So like,
I think so. Yeah.
yeah,
Like imagine if the corruptor got like 12 attacks with his flaming weapon on.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then like randomly does flat. What would that be? 7?
No, because it changes the characteristic to 6.
Oh, does flaming weapon add 1 to the attack characteristic?
Yeah. Or the damage
Oh,
characteristic. Yeah.
sad.
Oh no.
7 damage would have, but 7 damage would have been perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well. Oh, because it would have been Nurgle.
It is, right?
Yep.
That's the right number?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. Gray Seer on the bell. So he went up to 325 points.
You know what's funny is I was like, oh, that's it. Nope, that was just the
We got a lot
what
to
do they
go,
call it?
and we're gonna just
Oh my
try
God.
to crunch through.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so I'm not gonna read all of this. He's a +2 to cast wizard with 2 spells. His Peel of Doom kind of sucks now because you can't really count on it. It used to have a nice curve with 2 dice. Now it doesn't. But like, I don't know. Put Master of Magic on him. 2 spells, 2 casts. That's really good. He's got a 5-up ward. 15 wounds. His spell kind of sucks because you have to beat the enemy's movement characteristic on 2d6. And most relevant things are becoming faster and faster.
What does it do to them?
It does. So you basically roll 2 dice, and for each point above their wound character or move characteristic, it does a mortal wound.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
Yeah,
I remember this.
and then it doesn't work on things that fly.
I mean, I can see there being a lot of good targets for this, honestly. Like any like paladins that get brought or something like that, or
I think in like mid tables, definitely. Like if you're fighting Nurgle, you're rubbing your little claws together.
right.
But I think like a lot of the actual like offensive stuff in the meta, and there's like enough armies that like if you go against Nighthaunt and they say like, oh, everything in this army is at least move 8, you just
Yeah, that's true.
put your hands in your head in your hands, and you cry. There's enough that it works on, and there's enough that it doesn't. Is my issue.
But I mean, it's incidental, right?
Yeah, it's incidental.
I guess my point, because it just has it, right?
Yeah.
So like, if you want to run him anyway, and he just has it, then
yeah, he can
you're
still
like,
do like
well,
Death
great.
Penalty and like
I
Skitter
still
Leap.
like, yeah. And isn't he the one that summons the Vermin Lord? Maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So like, maybe you want him anyway, and then if that spell is relevant against Nurgle, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna ruin you now.
Just the thing that like made me sad too is like, I feel like this guy would be way more playable if you could just like do D3 damage to himself with the Bell ability. Like, because if you roll a 1, he hurts himself. Because because you have to push him into he can't move on his own.
Right, that's right.
He's got to be within 13 or what is it, 6 inches of 10 or more models.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you run him in there, and like your clan rats, you're going to die. And then you just have him stuck there because like he's a bunch of dum-dums aren't there to like move him around. He's like, help, mom, get me out of here. Right, like,
but you stick him in there, and then he takes some damage, and well, you hope he doesn't take too much damage, I suppose, and then he can summon the Vermin Lord easier, right?
Yeah,
I think that's like kind of the idea. It feels like it anyway, but you got to be really careful what you push him into because he might just die before he gets to summon it.
Yeah. So I don't think the Vermin Lord summoning is happening often. You can't control it, which is probably for the best. Actually, it's definitely for the best. Yeah, that'd be insane if you could just consistently do it. Then the list
it'd be insane if you can consistently do it. Yeah. But if it was like really hard to set up, that wouldn't be bad, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which it feels like it's
I think he brings enough to the table without the summon too, because he can be a priest too, and like he can't pick a prayer scripture, but he can bless, and like bless goes a long way on a unit of 60 clan rats.
Right. Yeah. And I guess that was my point also with the spell. Like if you have it and it's against the right guy, like great.
Yeah.
And if you don't, well, just use someone else.
Yeah, it's just he's not as exciting to me as Vermin Lords or Thankful right now.
Sure.
But I think he's got value for sure.
Yeah.
All right. What's next? Grayseer, 125, 2-cast wizard. He can roll 3 dice and discard the lowest 1 time. His spell is you have to roll. It's a casting value of 7. You roll a dice, and if it's equal to or above the wounds characteristic of the unit, they get -1 to hit, and they suffer D3 mortal wounds. He's a great wizard.
Not bad, yeah.
Yeah, and he's 125, and like 3 of them is not a huge ask, I don't think, for the 3 claw steps ahead.
Sure.
And the only reason why you're not bringing 3 of them is because Thankful and Warpseer count as Master Clan.
Right.
And I think Scritch does too, actually, even though he's all of them. I think he just has the Master Clan. He might have all the keywords.
That would be
I didn't even think of that. Oh, and of course, I cut off the keywords here, but...
Would he then count for all of them?
Yes. Which would actually add insane value to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, like, this page here is a power page. The Arc Warlock is sweet, too. He's just a 2-cast wizard for 155. D3 attacks, 4s, 3s, -2, 2. 1 attack, 4, 3, -3, 2. Or -2, 3. If you give him Devious Adversary, can't you see this in like a Path to Glory or a 1K game just dominating? With like that attack profile?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And like you can add, like he gets D6 attacks with his first attack if you overcharge it, and then he suffers some damage.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's actually like really good for 155.
That's sweet.
And like you want a Warlock anyway if you want to do Scryer. I like the Bombardier a lot too, so like that's the only thing against him. But like I don't know, I feel like there's so much fun to be had. And he's like one of the better looking metal models. Like if you look at that looks kind of modern, but it's metal. I'm trying to find Screech real quick. See if he has keywords.
Oh yeah, definitely do that.
Master Clan. Just Master Clan.
Just Master. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, because that changes him a lot.
Yeah, that would actually probably pushed him
way up in the list.
Yeah, because then you could have done crazy things. I guess we won't get into it because it's not relevant.
Yeah.
But
yeah. All right, Warlock Engineer. They're both pretty much the same, other than weapon option. They have a spell that does D3 mortal wounds, or you can overcharge it for D6. But if it fails or it's dispelled, they hit themselves. And the Warlock Bombardier just has better attacks for 10 points.
Oh, okay.
Again, Scryer, Wizard. That's all you really need them for. Storm Fiends did not change much, other than the wind launchers got +1 to wound. And yeah, other than that, they're the same. They were always like really good. Like a fistful of attacks to get +1 attack with the Scryer ability. Very good. They can be battle line. Oh, we didn't really talk about this in the clans either, but for each hero, you can bring one of their clan units as a battle line. So the list building is actually really powerful too.
Yeah.
So if you have one Scryer hero, you can get 1 unit of these as a battle line. If you have 2,
you
can get 2 units.
So not that it's relevant for this, but does that change like who gets Galatian Veteran and stuff?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
Also, it's a May, so you don't have to force them to be Galatian Veteran.
Oh god, I almost don't like that because
me neither, because it's gonna be.
It's just gonna be confusing.
Because I've had lists too where it's like I only have like 1 Pestilence hero and I have 2 Pestilence units, and I want the battle line, so I have 2 Plague Monks, and I'm like, this one's the Galatian Veteran, but this one isn't.
Yeah, that's icky.
It's. I don't think it's a problem with the army. I think it's a problem with Galatian veterans, to be honest.
Probably. But, well, I don't know.
It depends, but yeah.
I think honestly, what everyone needs and what didn't come with the thing is just a bunch of tokens of simulation veteran, and you put them next to your units.
Yeah, and I guess you could just
That's
do
my
that
opinion.
now with like other crap, but yeah, I get it. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, though, like, but yeah, that is a thing you have to worry about is Galatian veterans, and like that's a
Yeah.
thing. Like as a Johnny, people are gonna love to be able to control, but like playing against
You're
it, it's
right.
going to be like a logistic nightmare. I think.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay, what's next? Warp Lightning Cannon, exact same thing, went down 30 points. Can do a shit ton of damage. So those who don't know, it's you roll one dice, and that's like the charge value. So let's say you roll a 3. And then you roll 6 dice, and each 3 up is a mortal wound. You can overcharge them and roll 12 dice, and then each one there does a mortal or does D3 mortal wounds to the cannon itself. So these
If it
are
wasn't clear when he said you get a charge value of 3 and then you roll 6 dice on a 3 up, it's like if you rolled a 2 on it, it'd be on a 2 up. If you rolled a 5 on it, it'd be a 5 up.
correct.
Yada yada.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just trying to do it quickly, and I might not be doing
Oh,
it
sure.
justice, but yeah. These are a gamble unit, and they can pay off in dividends, or they can do nothing for you. But like they're gonna be fun, I think.
Yeah.
Like they're a story thing. You have to have an engineer nearby to overcharge them, but you can have like one engineer like on multiple of them.
Oh,
So
okay.
so like a common loadout I do is like an engineer, a unit of storm fiends, and then 2 of these, and that's a pretty good battle package.
Now, when you say engineer, there was like the engineer and bombardier
Yep.
earlier. So do you have to take the engineer, not the bombardier?
No. So you could take the bombardier, the engineer, or the arc warlock.
Oh, and they all count.
They
Okay,
all count. Yeah. Just a
got it.
scryer hero, basically.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Scryer acolytes. These are the ones that are $18 a metal model on the web store. So you kit bash them or 3D print them.
Oh, they didn't get rid of these.
No, they didn't
Sad.
get rid of anything. Surprisingly.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then, so basically, these are unit of 5 for 75. One attack each. Threes, threes, -2, 3. D3 damage. And you add 1 to wound rolls if the target unit has 10 or more models. I think that they're fine. I think they're good even. And I think that you have plenty of other things to run if you don't want to 3D print or run this model. But if you want the Kit Bash project, you can run these very successfully.
If you want to get that, weren't they like really good in the previous book?
Yeah,
With something
I would
I
say,
don't remember why. I just remember hearing people were taking them
well,
a
because
bunch
remember your
and it
Warpstone
sucked.
sparks, right? You can add 1
Yeah.
damage to these. And you can make them
Oh,
twos
okay.
and twos with the Warp Galvanism spell.
Oh, so is that what it is?
Yeah, they hold
Okay.
buffs well. But so don't
So it's
Storm Fiends, so I don't know.
so it's still relevant then, is what
Yeah,
I'm hearing.
they're
Okay.
still good. They're
Okay.
just also a lot of good things in this book that you don't have to turn this dial to play. You know, it's
Right,
not
yeah.
like you need
Like
to play
where
the
before
Supports
they didn't
Army.
have as many good things,
Yeah,
so that was
exactly.
like the thing to run.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
Got it.
I
Got
like
it.
these
Got
a
it.
lot right now, honestly. Okay, Doom Wheel moves 46, has D6 shots, and they're threes threes -1 D3 damage. You can overcharge the shots to 2d6, and if you roll doubles, it takes d6 mortal wounds. So basically, yeah, and then you can overcharge the movement, but if you roll doubles at all, your opponent gets to move it.
What?
So you never overcharge the move, and you always overcharge the shots, in my opinion. And this
Wait.
guy's fun. Like I think there's a lot of fun to be had here.
Wait, when you say overcharge the movement, do you roll what?
Um, so where is it?
I missed something.
Yeah, so basically you can more speed. So when you make a normal move with this, you can re-roll the roll to determine its move characteristic.
Oh, you reroll. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So you re-roll the roll, and if you roll
If
a
you roll
doubles in there, your opponent gets to move it.
in that out of 4 dice, if you roll a double.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah. So you don't do that.
There's some math there, and I'm sure that math says is asking for disaster.
Yeah. So this is what I mean though, when I'm like, there's some cleanup that clearly could have happened in this book that didn't. And,
Yeah.
like, somebody could have thought that through a little bit more. But as is, like, you get to run over things with less than 3 wounds and deal mortal wounds to it. And 46
That's
could
pretty.
get you far, and there's the relic that double moves one of these.
I mean, 46 is like even like somewhat consistent because you're
Yeah.
getting into like a decent amount of dice at that point,
And it's not
and
like
like,
a combat unit, it's a shooting unit after all, too.
and then what's that? 14 inches average movement?
Yeah, something like that.
Like that's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
Just throw that, yeah.
Yeah,
Like okay,
he's 185. I don't know why this thing's a behemoth, to be honest.
it's a behemoth.
It's a behemoth. And
Okay,
I just want you to consider the Stormcast Chariot, which is a bigger base, more wounds, less points. Or more points, not a behemoth.
yeah. I think this is a don't ask questions moment.
Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Warpfire,
can't think of any reason.
yeah, overall, like, it's a fun unit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you know what? Maybe it is. It's because chariots aren't behemoths. There you go.
Alright.
Because it's like the unit, and then like he gets a bunch of stuff.
This thing's a
So
behemoth for a Skaven. Yeah.
I mean, is there a Skaven guy riding inside the Doom Wheel?
Yeah.
So basically, it's a chariot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, I don't get it.
I don't get it, but I don't care either. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does affect less. It could affect list building though.
Yeah, it could. It says don't
So
bring these
like,
in Vermin Lords. Maybe not
yeah.
necessarily.
I mean, that's
but
kind of what it's saying, right?
yeah.
Like, it makes it harder to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are some lists that are just kind of cut off because of that.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. I don't get it. Yeah, and then weapon teams. So they all, like, basically, we talked about them a little before, that you can hide them in a unit, you record it separately, and then you pop them out at the appropriate phase. So the Warpfire is a shooting phase one. It's a horde thinner for everything within 8 inches on a 4-up. 8 inches is a very shallow range,
Yes.
of course, but if you overcharge it, it's, you roll... No, they changed this, so... Yeah, if you overcharge it, the range becomes 12, and you add 1 to the roll. So, each 3-up is a mortal wound at a 12-inch range, instead of each 4-up is a mortal wound at an 8-inch range.
Okay.
And that's actually huge, I think.
Yeah.
That
What's
range
the what's the how many dice is it again?
So each model within 12 inches or 8 inches, based on if you overcharge
Oh,
it or
each
not.
model. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that means, because, like, I think with weapon teams, they have to be outside of 9. Set this up wholly within 3. Oh, more than 3 from enemy units. Okay, never mind. But honestly, like, yeah, I just think the range was definitely the right switch to pull on that. Because what it used to be is you rolled 2 dice for each model. But I like the range a lot better as a design philosophy there.
It makes it a instead of being like a huge burst to like one thing,
Yeah.
or like but less consistent. It's like
Mhm.
more consistent but less of a boom.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
yeah, and then the weapon team thing, if you overcharge them, you roll a dice, and on a 1 or 2, they're slain.
One or two, they're slain.
Yep.
Goodbye.
That being said, though, like, they're 70-point model.
Yeah.
Like,
So like,
who
it's not the end
cares?
of the world.
Yeah. Like, I value these, like, endless spells that automatically go off.
Didn't you like just have these guys die on you like all the time
Yeah, of course.
to start with?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Well, because they would never be able to be hidden, too, so, like, they see this thing with 2 wounds that could ruin their day. Oh, it's 3 wounds now, even. That's cool.
Ooh,
That's awesome. Yeah.
spicy.
Yep. But you see my point, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, it was just dangerous for them. And now, like, they can hide. It's a little less so. And it's not like at the end of the charge phase they pop out, so you have to wait a turn now. It's just the end of the shooting phase.
That's cool.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah.
Warlock Giselles. They're not a weapon team. They're like the sniper team. They're single for some reason. So, a unit of 3, single. Alright. I don't know why.
What?
Probably a typo. But you can't reinforce them. And they're, And you're like, hey mom, can I get some long strikes? And they're like, we got long strikes at home. And then they pull these up. Because they're one attack, threes, minus 2/2. Sixes to hit are mortal wounds, the attack sequence ends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I just love the way you put that. That was hilarious.
Yeah. The long strikes at home. 1,000% what they are. But like, they're 110 points for that, so that's pretty good. Or 120 rather. So they're budget, but they're half too, so.
That's pretty. Yeah, I mean,
They're good.
You have to consider points, right?
Yep.
Like,
but like, it's weird you can't reinforce them. I don't know why, but whatever.
I don't know what's going on
I
there.
ain't mad about it. I'll find a way to move on.
I mean, maybe they were concerned about like the long strike problem, right?
Yeah, and then they're just preemptively addressing it.
Yeah, they're just like, nope, you cannot reinforce these.
Yep, I can see it.
We're like, okay, and then we move on.
Rattling gun. 2d6 plus 3. The plus 3 is new. It used to just be 2d6. Overcharge it, you double the roll.
Double the roll?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So if you roll like a 7, you get 14. But if you roll doubles, or then on a 1 or 2, it blows up. That's right, yeah. 12-inch range. That's pretty shallow, but...
Wait, on a 1 or 2, but...
So...
Do you roll a die to overcharge, and
yes.
then...
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if it blows up, do you still get
shooting.
You get your shooting?
Yep.
Oh, okay, alright. Oh,
yep.
That's okay.
Yeah, all of them do their thing, and then they blow up.
Oh, I like that way better.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
a good design.
That's a lot less feels badsy than than if they just blew up and did nothing.
Because it still worked.
Yep. Still works.
It's a great design. IMO. Yeah, I have nothing to say about that. But like 2d6 plus 3, or you double the roll and then add 3, is pretty good. For the shots. Yeah, and it's 70 points? Yeah. Something around there, 60 or 70. I forgot to put points down here for some reason, but whatever. Good shit, man. Like, you see what I mean? Like, if you have some points left over, why not throw a weapon team in?
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Doomflayers.
Like, there's a lot of interesting options.
Yep. For sure. These little idiots are hilarious. And I got a 3D printed one coming. So,
nice.
They're D6 attacks, 3s, minus 2/2 in melee. They get +1 attack on the charge, and then you can overcharge to a 2d6. But you can hide them in the weapon team, and they pop out after the charge phase before combat. And if you're in combat, they pop out in combat.
Oh, man.
And then they just go zzz, their little chainsaw blade and just cut them up. And like 2d6, 3s, minus 2/2. Like, that's the Corruptor's attack profile.
It is!
That we were high on.
Yeah.
For
65
points. Yeah.
65?
Like, he's too hilarious not to
You could just die, right? Like,
yeah.
He's got 3 wounds. So like, if you don't attack with him first, like, they just go, oh, I killed that.
Yeah.
And it's a waste of 65 points. But
at the end of your... So you have to... It's at the end of your charge phase, so you can't use it, like, defensively. Because, like, my...
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it would be to, like, put him deep inside a unit of clan rats, and then they get charged, and then you pop this idiot out and fight with it first. But you charge with clan rats who you don't care to fight with because they're not good. And then this guy pops out and chops them up.
Yeah. The other interesting thing is if you keep that unit alive for a turn and get to your charge phase, does it say you have to have charge?
No.
So you could still pop them out pseudo-defensively just the next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Probably not terribly relevant, but it's something to consider that it's possible.
I think it's a little bit more relevant than you think. Because, like...
It might be, yeah.
The guys get charged a lot, and, like... Unless they, like, hyper-dedicate to a unit of, like, 40 clan rats, they're not moving.
Probably not killing it in turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, this little sucker comes out, and just, like...
Exactly. This thing seems like... Not even, like, a meme. Like, this seems, like, actually good, right?
I think so.
Like, I think this guy's actually good. Like, I can't wait to play it, yeah. And, like, of course, like, you're gonna play it, and it's gonna roll, like, a 2, and then kill itself.
Oh, of
roll 2
course.
attacks, but like it's 65 points, man. Like it's better than most endless spells, is it not?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I like this guy. I cannot wait to play them. All right, and then the last one is the Warp Grinder. So he's a little different because he just basically lets you deep strike a unit, Skaven wholly within 13 of him. So you pull him off the table and then another Skaven unit, and then you plop them both down outside of 9 of an enemy. 65 points. Still there, Bill?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to read him.
Oh, okay.
I figured I would read him because I didn't quite follow instead of having you reread,
Okay.
and then that just resulted in silence.
Yeah. He's just a deep strike piece.
Okay.
Yeah. Deep strike a friend. That is not a monster or a war machine.
So you can't deep strike the corruptors, I assume then.
Correct. Yeah.
Or not the corruptors, the corruptor is one.
Yeah.
Vermin Lords, there we go.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
But like 65 points for a deep strike, like people play 150 for that in Ideneth, so
It's true.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's real good. Plague Priest. He has got a lot of words. You run him because he's a priest for 100 points. I think is just the easiest way to put that. You pick your lore spells, or lore scriptures that are really good, or like heal. He has -1 to wound in combat, but he's 5 wounds with a 5-up save, so it's not super relevant. He's good.
Does he have a default? Does he have his own unique prayer?
He does. It's basically you pick a point in the battlefield within 13, and then roll a dice for each thing within 3 inches. If it's a pestilence on a 4-up, they heal D3. If it's anything else, except for Nurgle, on a 4-up, they take D3.
That's not awful.
I've used it to good effect, even, I would say.
Yeah.
It's a nice back pocket thing.
Yeah.
For sure. But it's not the default thing. But like all I'm saying is like he could have no words and he could just be a priest for 100. And just because of the way that the Clan Pestilence like allegiance is written out, like he's just flat good.
Right. I got you.
Yeah. And like it's good to address them too, but it's
like
he's got fringe useful things. Yeah.
That's not what you're caring about. He's 100 points. You get a priest.
Yeah.
Great. Yep. Got it.
Exactly. Very good. Because it's already we're not going to get done with this book.
Yeah.
Greatly. All right, Plague Caw. This is the thing that has the 1 attack. It's 3s, 2s, -2, d6. Add 1 to hit rolls and increase the damage to 2d6 if you're fighting something with 10 or more models. And add 2 to Battle Shock for units targeted by friend. So if you target an enemy unit, they add 2 to their Battle Shock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so people are using this with the Horror Gas as a bravery bomb.
Oh, that's cool.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
You don't spam these. You don't take that command trait that you add 1 damage to their attack.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Plague Priest on Furnace. So they're 100 or they're like 325, 335, 15 wounds, 4-up save, 5-up ward, -1 to wound. Has to be pushed into battle. Handful of mediocre attacks. However, they have a furnace, or like they have the plague sensor, which on a 2-up does D3 plus 4 mortal wounds. And it brackets.
Dude, there's so much here that like the words are just starting to blend together for all these war scrolls.
Yeah.
It's really hard to like keep everything straight and like make a good analysis of like, is this unit good or not? Like I feel like with Sylvaneth we were kind of able to do that.
Yeah.
But like there's so many of these.
We're starting to burn out. Yeah. I can tell.
Right. It's really hard to figure out if I'll be honest, I have no idea what this guy does. You just read it.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Okay. Yeah, we're almost there, Bill.
Yeah.
We're almost there. But
I'm trying.
Yeah.
I am. And I'm getting good work done on these nights. So I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, they're looking great. But let me just paraphrase then for all of these. So
Yeah.
it doesn't have great melee attacks, but it has a way to do about 5 mortal wounds on average every combat. And just to put that in
Okay.
perspective, like when I fought against the Daughters of Cain last time, I rolled a
Mhm.
2 and then a 1 and did 5 mortal wounds, and he's like, "What the hell is that?" Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But if you read the War Scroll, it's like very clear that he just does mortal wounds in combat, and that's really all he does. And he is 15 wounds with a -1 to wound, so he's probably one of the most survivable hero models you have.
Okay, that's
And
cool.
he has a ignore battle shock bubble.
Do you run him over like Verminlord Corruptor? Do you run him with the Verminlord Corruptor?
I think over or with.
Over or with? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know though.
Is Verminlord Corruptor more of a build around, and this guy's more like a you're probably gonna bring it type of thing?
I like him a lot. The analysis I've gotten online is people are like, I'd rather just bring 3 plague monks and
Oh,
get
okay. Fair
the
enough.
yeah. But like, I think he's a pretty decent anvil because 15 wounds, -1 to wound, and a 4-up save and a 5-up ward is a lot to chew through, and you can save
That's
stack
a
him
lot to
pretty
choose
easy in
from.
this army too.
Yep.
Yeah, so I like him.
Fair enough.
I would run him. I run him in a lot of lists. I like him over the Vermin Lord, but I think that's a contentious opinion too. All right.
I mean, the Verminlord does seem like it has a lot of fun things you can do.
I like
So
running him with, but if I had to choose one, I probably choose this.
okay.
Is the way I see it. Yeah. Okay.
Unpopular opinions. Go, Alex.
Yep. Plague monks. They can be battle line 90 for 10, 6-up save, so they die to anything. Doesn't even matter that they're bounty hunters. They get +1 attack on the charge, and 6s to hit are -2 rend. They're a hammer unit. That's it. They can get a lot of attacks. You can get up to like 4 or 5 easily, I say, with them. But they die to anything.
I'm just telling you.
Okay. Oh God! Ah!
Uh-oh.
No one saw. No one saw anything. There we go. All right.
Alright, I'm sorry, Sheila. We're almost done. Alright, Plague Sensor
That
Bearers.
wasn't so bad.
So these guys are actually interesting now, because they're 90 for 5, and they have 3 attacks each, and they're 2 damage each. So, and then they get +1 on the charge, so they could be 4 attacks on the charge. And they're actually one of the strongest hammers in this book right now, per points. But they're paper thin.
Oh yeah, they're not taking a hit.
Nope.
Are those old models? Those look like they're
They're
probably
old models, yep.
Yeah.
But they're very good right now.
Kind of sucks when the old models are really good.
Yeah. It makes me think, like the Graveguard, for example. Like,
You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
they're priced to move. They're very powerful. You're going to see them a lot.
Are these going to be the next? Are they like super expensive? Are these going to be the next alkalites that you're going to have to buy?
They're not quite Acolyte level. Because
Okay.
there's like a reasonable kit, and they don't look that bad. But
Okay.
like there's some really good 3D prints out there of them too that are worth
Cool.
considering.
Yeah.
This is the Claw Lord. 110 points, 6 attacks, 3's, -1, 2. He gets 1 more attack for each wound allocated to him, and he has a command ability to give clan rats +1 attack.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
And obviously he can take any command ability with a
Yeah.
or command trait rather. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I feel like we've talked about him a lot.
Yeah.
But
But you see why like I don't ever take more than one of him.
right.
The sad truths. Clan
It's an
rat.
okay profile.
It's a pretty good profile, yeah. I would say like it's even better than most combat hero profiles. Oop, your hair
Yeah.
fell off. We'll fix that. But yeah, clan rats, they're just cheap as hell. We went over these in the Echoes of Doom. Storm vermin we already went over too. They're bodyguard. Clan rats went down to 100 points each. So they're the cheapest thing in the world. And you can build
Yeah.
so many lists with them.
That's crazy.
Storm vermin are great because bodyguard is so relevant in army with squishy support heroes.
Right.
They protect everybody. It doesn't even like exclude monster, so they can protect vermin lords.
Right, which is awesome.
Yep, they're great.
Yep.
They're great. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to say about that. Packmaster, Master Molder are the same exact thing, except for like one's a unit of 3 and one's a hero. But they give a buff that gives a Molder unit +3 to charge and +1 to wound. Obviously, that's very good with the 3 claw steps ahead, where the first charge roll gets carried over to everybody.
Mhm.
That's why you bring it, I think. Rat Ogres are very good. 90 points for the hero. Excellent. Fills out the battalion pretty easy. And he's got the command ability to return the Rat Ogre unit on a 3-up. SVL the Rogue, how you doing, buddy?
Hey.
We're getting a little tuckered out. We've been on this for an hour
Oh,
and
we've
18
been going
over. Yeah, because this is a huge fucking book.
Yeah, so we're almost at 3.5 hours.
Yeah, we're shotgunning through these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate.
This is getting a little tough with this.
Nobody
Skaven book.
has
This
the
Skaven
attention
book's got a
span
lot.
for it.
Yeah.
Hellpit Abomination has a great amount of attacks. It can come back to life when it dies sometimes. It ignores spells on a 4-up. It's fragile as hell, which is why you always take the +2 wounds, +1 save.
Oh yeah, yep. That
Yeah,
checks out.
in your hero phase, it can heal up to D3 wounds allocated to it. There's going to be games where this is fun, but it's going to be... Any amount of shooting will get rid of this, I think.
Well, it's resistant to like, it's somewhat resistant to like the mortal wound shooting. In just that like it wasn't going to be taking much damage, or it's going to be taking damage anyway.
Yeah.
Most likely. So like the mortal wounds aren't as like relevant as just like normal
Regular
damage.
ones, yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're
you're
not,
saying
like,
like
as
the
much
Marty
better.
Thralls are much better at dealing with these than the Lumineth ones. Because the volume of attacks versus quality
I
of
mean,
attack.
it might not actually work out that way, but I think if pointed correctly, yes.
Yep, I agree. But yeah, they're fun. I think they're cool. I love the sculpts so much.
Oh, those are sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I'm gonna try one soon because like they can definitely benefit from like the Claw Lord, or like not the Claw Lord, the Packmaster charge, and then the 3 claw steps ahead. I
Mhm.
think there's fun to be had there.
I feel like they're worth spending a couple seconds on because
Yeah.
they do look really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they're 245 points. That's not that bad.
No, it's really not.
That
Honestly,
gets shot
that's
off
like
the table one turn. Like you're not like screwed. Like if it were a god
Yeah, it's-
model. Yeah,
exactly. Yep. Although it's the size of one, isn't it?
it's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and it has more generous bracketing, like everything in 3rd edition. So that's cool.
Yes.
So that's hopeful for your Cygors.
I fucking hope.
All right.
Although the Cygors needed a complete rewrite, but that's a different point.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Rat Ogres. So they lost like the custom ability from Broken Realms Kragnos, but it was just rolled into the base War Scroll. So there's 6 wounds, 4-up save each, where they used to be 4 wounds, 5-up. They can be battle line if you have the Master Molder. They're 140 for 2 of these. So 140 points for 16, 4-up save with 12 wounds. You can reinforce them, of course. Every 2 has a gun that's D3 attacks, 4s, 3s, -1, 2. Their melee is 4 attacks, 3s, 3s, -1, 2, exploding 6s. They're the shield annihilator profile. So they have good damage. And like of course you can put buffs on these guys pretty easily. And they're pretty survivable for their points.
Even bad.
Yeah, right?
Right.
But also look at that model. That model is garbage.
It's so bad.
That model is garbage.
Can we get something else, please?
Like I think you're actively hurting your sales by selling models like that.
I'm sure if you get them, they look better, right? Like, it has to be.
No, apparently they have bad mold lines too.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But
I was noticing some really bad mold lines on the old Chaos Warriors.
mm-hmm.
They're definitely just still there on a lot of mine.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh my god, these are horrible.
Yeah, these are some of the first plastic models.
Oh, yeah.
So they definitely suffer from that.
Yep.
Alright, but they're really good right now. Because like you can
Find a good alternate model until, GW actually prints a good one.
Yeah, like that should be their priority for Skaven.
Right.
Rat swarms are useless because they're twice as much for half the wounds of clan rats, and they have a worse
Moving
save.
on. Okay.
Giant rats are around a similar wound economy, but worse in every way, except for they can get Ren 2 sometimes, so they're kind of interesting, but I'm never going to run them.
Fair enough.
Deathmaster's the
I mean,
same. Oh,
the only way you can get them is with the ogres, so
Yep.
like sounds awful.
yeah, exactly. Fuck that.
Yep.
Deathmaster, 165 points. He can hide in Ashen units now, where he wasn't able to in the Echoes of Doom. But
Mhm.
otherwise, pretty much the same, and like the same points we had on that video of like he's pretty good at hiding, and now he gets like +1 to hit and wound on heroes of your choice because of the Eshin keywords. 6 is to hit or D3 mortal wounds in both phases, shooting and melee.
It's so weird how they change, like
For
in
some
relevant
units.
ways
Yeah.
between the box and like
Yeah.
it immediately invalidates the war scrolls they give you,
Yep.
like the little cards and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So bizarre.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But either way, he's still good.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. The Eshin units look like dog shit.
That
But
sucks.
we have a unit of 5 and a unit of 10. And on 6s, they do mortal wounds. And the unit of 10 gets a pregame movement, and the unit of 5 can deep strike. But like, just a high quantity of mortal wound shooting, even at a close range, is pretty good. And so if you want that, you can go to Eshin to flip that switch, and I think you can be very successful with that switch. And I know like a lot of players actually play Eshin and did it like just because of like the board control they gave and like the quantity of shots. And now it's like less quantity, but you have more mortal wounds coming out.
Mhm.
So like there's actually damage value in addition to the movement tech that they had before. So the people who loved Eshin are really gonna like Eshin. But you can do new sculpts for these.
Yeah. Yeah.
But overall, like if you want mortal wound shooting, this is a good source of it. And which kind of makes Acolytes not as good in my opinion, because they have high rend and high damage, but just sometimes mortal wounds is what you need better.
Yep.
Endless spells. Vermintide's okay. Warp Lightning Vortex is pretty much the same as it was before. Bell of Doom is your battle shock immunity, but they can dispel it and then hit you. Or it can just disappear on its own. Gnawholes give +1 to pray, +1 to cast, -1 bravery to enemies near him, and you could teleport between them. And it used to be you can only teleport once, but you can teleport out of each Gnawhole once per turn.
Is that like the best one you've ever heard?
What?
Like the best scenery piece you've ever heard of?
It's up
That
there.
does so much.
Yeah. The
crazy.
Lumineth is 10 free command points, so that's hard to beat with doubling your wizard spell range. So maybe that one,
all
maybe
right.
the Hearthstone. But like, if you're talking about the
It's
top
pretty close.
3 war or scenery pieces, maybe Flesh Eater Quartz is up there because you can summon just like hundreds of points of free models for free.
Yeah. It's pretty good though.
Oh,
like, that's
no,
doing a
it's
lot
insane.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, I'm not even gonna argue that it's the fact that like, is it the best terrain piece? Maybe. There's other contenders, but this one is a contender.
Just because just because everyone else murdered somebody doesn't make this.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
That thing we say that I just butchered. Whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Just because he got to murder someone doesn't mean I get to do it too.
Yeah, but you actually do, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah. But yeah, and like it just makes it so like your opponents never know where to be at all.
Yeah.
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 And that's that. That's the book. And the last few slides are points, but we already went over the points with the models. Holy shit, my throat hurts.
I bet it does, dude. You were just reading a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
That was something else.
I'm glad that because I
applaud
think
you for that, if nothing else.
Yeah. I feel like the majority of the power is in the artifacts, in the allegiance abilities though. So I'm glad that we had a really good discussion about that. And a lot of the crap here is just like, yeah, it's good because the numbers are good. They're pointed
reasonable numbers. All right.
And the most interesting units were the Vermin Lords, and we had a lot to say about that too.
Right.
So I'm happy with this review, even though we kind of rushed it at the end. But you got to forgive us, guys. Holy shit, that was a lot.
That's a long book right there.
Yeah, but you can see how like this is an exciting book. And you
Oh,
can
there's
see
a
how
lot going on.
this is a good book, despite the fact that it's not cleaned up for 3rd edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a Skaven book through
It's
and
a
through.
Skaven book through and through.
Yep.
All right. We'll be back next week. I don't know what we're doing, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll put this on
Yeah, the week
YouTube.
after, we should have the new paints, so that'll be exciting.
Yeah, and I can finally do my dragonflies there for everybody.
Hell yeah.
That'll be exciting and fun.
Yep.
All right. Everybody, we're signing off. Have a good night.
See you guys.